Hello, Internet! Welcome to the scariest hour, Friends of the Paranormal, the only show where it is okay to eat those cookies and spit in the milk your mama left for Santa.
Ew.
This is Matt.
Ew, and Zach. A little grossed out. I thought about it. I mean, I'm fine with it.
Well, how else to call down the wrath of our topic, which today is
God,
Evil Santa.
I don't want to go as right down.
You know what? The research for this one was a lot of fun.
It was way fun. I had a really good time.
So, Zachary,
Yeah.
how do you feel about, like, what was your impression of evil Santas?
I mean, pretty antithetical when I first found out about the concept. I was like, no way. It was like I don't want to say a betrayal,
Right.
but it was like it can't be. It can't be done. It's like someone saying your grandmother
Right.
killed a bunch of people.
What
Some
would-
people's grandma killed people. I'm
What
not
would
saying
your
that.
what was your first evil Santa?
I don't know.
Okay, because mine.
There was this one mall Santa that was around my neighborhood.
Snitch.
who,
Well, mine was the first episode of Tales from the Crypt, which is that hobo in the Santa outfit.
yeah, I vaguely remember that.
That's what really put the fear in me. 100%.
Of just Santas in general.
Oh yeah, I don't like people in costumes. I also was very scared of old people as a child, though.
Well, I mean,
I thought they were things in people.
well, sure.
They sagged a little bit. But yeah,
I mean,
no.
that's a pretty rational fear.
But the idea of like Santa coming to kill you is a weird one.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was gonna find that much for the real research, but
I found
a
few.
couple.
Yeah, I found a few too. Well, when you first said it was going to be Evil Santa, that's like a couple days later, I messaged you and was like, "How are we going to do real ones?" Mm-hmm. And then you were like, "They're out there."
I was like, I found some.
And immediately, as soon as I read your message, going like, "They're out there," I was like, "Yeah, I bet there are, huh?" and,
People have definitely worn Santa clothes and killed people.
and they're definitely, yeah, that happened a lot.
Oh man,
Maybe not a lot, but more than you want it to happen.
They're pretty fun. I mean, they're not fun, but it's
No, it's not fun.
It makes what would normally be a home invasion story festive.
Yeah, a little spicier, for sure.
Little, what's that? That cranberry spice, little winter fresh.
Yeah, good stuff.
Little nice
Peppermint.
stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I have as strong of feelings for evil Santas as
Not
I would.
particularly, no.
It's more like a nostalgia because I watched that Tales from the Crypt episode real young,
Right.
So I was like, the idea of a Santa coming to kill me is in my monkey brain a little bit.
Sure,
Like,
sure,
it's in the
sure.
back there.
The idea for me was more like not nostalgic, but more like, oh, look at this. It's like a step above Killer Clown. You know, where something
Right.
is supposed to be friendly and nice
Right.
to you, but it's actually coming to knife you in the fucking throat.
Yeah, but clowns are evil, as we all know.
Yeah, obviously. There's way more evil clowns than nice clowns.
100. Yeah, you know, at this point with pop culture,
You know, let's be real about
yeah.
it.
How many movies about clowns were made where the clown is just present and a good guy?
Is fine. I mean, did Bozo the Clown ever have a good movie?
No, I don't know.
Because he never harmed a soul.
He never did nothing wrong.
He's like Captain Kangaroo.
Right,
He's like
right.
sainthood level.
Right. Yeah, Killer Santas is fun.
I gotta say that before this endeavor that we're about to embark on, I had never seen a good one. Never seen a good Evil Santa movie.
There is one, which we'll talk about now.
Okay.
There is a Jaws of Evil Santas.
Is
and
there
that's,
really?
That's when was that movie made? That was a couple years ago. Krampus. That movie is legit good.
I've never seen
Krampus is 100% good. You do have to walk a minefield because there were like 17 Krampus movies. that year.
Yeah. I know which one it is, though. I've heard
movie-
nothing but praise for it.
It's
so.
I would say it's the closest we get to a like this generation's Gremlins. Like,
Right.
It's got that tone down. It's like completely safe for kids horror. It's genuinely terrifying.
Huh.
Like when you watch, there's a scene that burned into my brain of a kid being consumed like alive and whole by like a Jack in the Box toy, like gulping
Cool.
him down, and they're just like, watch it happen, kids. There's no blood really, no gore, but Krampus is scary. There's great close-ups when they finally like when the kids like point blank with Krampus, and you're like, is he wearing like a people suit? What is, because his skin's like sallow and hanging off his face a bit.
Okay, so
the
it's like
effects of
some
Krampus are-
Skinwalker vibes.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It would be. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Skinwalkers at least once.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's the episode we're gonna tease the most because of how into Skinwalkers we are.
Series finale.
Yeah, we're done. But Krampus, I would say, like many movies, we would say we don't cover because they're too perfect. It's got a message. It's all about family. It's all about like that Christmas spirit. It's all about it really is. This family forsakes the Christmas spirit so much that they all must be punished with
Brutal.
death, essentially.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's awesome. I won't spoil anything about it specifically, but definitely
Good,
watch
because
Krampus.
I haven't seen it. It's interesting to hear you compare it to Gremlins, because
Yeah,
love me some
when
Gremlins.
I watched it, that's all I could think was, this feels like a Joe Dante movie.
Nice.
That was like never made.
Man, I miss Joe Dante.
I mean,
He's gotta still be doing
kicking it,
stuff.
yeah. But yes, you are right. Evil Santas have, like many topics we cover, a bad track record of films.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not the topics we cover. It's
Yeah.
horror movies
Yes.
are the problem.
Yeah.
They just crank them the fuck out, and they're garbage. Nobody cares about their quality, really. And for someone to care about their quality, it's like when Ari Aster started making movies, it was like,
Right.
yo, somebody is bringing it back. Nice.
Right.
Making some really good stuff. But, on the whole, horror movies they're pretty shit. That's why they're so much fun, is to have this camp and pomp and circumstance and, like, just horrible effects and terrible acting, and also people getting their heads chopped off
yeah.
and just ripped in half, and that's what makes it fun. That's why I like them.
Yeah. It's a counterculture thing.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, horror movies are like legit fun art, and that's why you get weird ones. We'll maybe cover it in detail when we cover like clowns at some point, but that's like the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space is
Sure.
like one of the purest form. It might be the only movie that was made bad on purpose that is also good. Like,
that can't be true. What about Black Dynamite?
I said one of.
Oh, okay.
One of.
I thought you said, the one.
One of
Okay.
the only.
Okay. Because there are a bunch.
Yeah, there's a couple. But yes, Evil Santas have a notoriously bad track record. There's so many of them because it's such an easy fucking premise. You don't want your slasher movie to be just a guy.
Yeah.
Make him a Santa.
Well, Santa works as a horror thing, or he doesn't work, but he's a good idea for a couple different reasons. Them being like, he's probably damage resilient.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You can't just beef Santa like
He
with
might
a
be
shovel.
supernatural.
He's definitely supernatural. He's like borderline omnipotent.
Mm-hmm.
He's like fucking.
He's jolly
That
Dr.
alone.
Manhattan coming after you.
Yeah, and also he's like supposed to be a happy-go-lucky child, jolly man,
Right.
and that coming to murder your ass is, it lends itself to horror. Horror likes to be surprising, or likes to try to think it's being surprising and subversive.
Yeah, despite being one of the biggest trend chasers.
Yeah, so you could, yeah, exactly, and you could start to do the whole like, if someone was trying to do it like an art house Santa Claus murder movie, they would be like, you see, what it is your childhood spirit, the happiest you ever were as a child will be your downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that type of thing. And then they just make like one where like it's got naked tits and people getting stabbed.
There's so many where it's just a hobo in a Santa suit coming into your house.
I started to watch a good handful and got about maybe 6 minutes and was like, I can't fucking do this. I can't do it.
I revisited two that I liked from when I was younger.
Really?
Which this will be our segue. So I watched the first one I watched today, or not today, but the other night.
For today.
Yeah, was Santa's Sleigh, which is a 2005.
The Bill Goldberg one.
Yes, the Bill Goldberg one.
Yeah, dude.
Where he is a demon.
He's
by
a
the
demon?
way.
I've
Yeah.
never seen this one. I know that it's got James Caan in it.
Yeah.
And the nanny, Fran Drescher, is in it. And Goldberg. That's all I know about it.
Yeah, specifically, Santa is the result of Satan attempting to perform an immaculate conception type scheme, and he is
So he's
he is
Mammon.
He is the one true son of Satan, Santa.
Mammon.
Yeah, Maman Santa.
Maman Santa.
But he is overthrown. He's kind of beaten down and punished, and his punishment for, I think it was 10,000 years, was to deliver toys and bring goodness and hope to children.
Because he's such an evil asshole
Yes.
that his punishment is to spread joy.
Right. Yes.
I see.
But he is free on this day, and he descends upon this town, which is called Hell, and is like, you know what? My first day free of being a good Samaritan, wholesale murder of a small Canadian town.
Of course.
And it's one of those movies where it's like I don't know if they wanted me to not know it was Canada, but I knew it was Canada.
I
the
see.
whole film. I was like, this is clearly a
very-
borderline Toronto.
A very polite film.
But yeah, it's super. It's basically just Bill Goldberg in a Santa suit, screaming at teenagers and chasing around. There's a really sweet Zamboni scene that I will not spoil.
Oh, good.
But it's a lot of fun. It is very slashery. It is a supernatural Santa horror film.
That's okay.
It's one of the few that I enjoy. But it's fun. It's so good. It's mostly just like sad because I'm like, I enjoy Goldberg in it so much.
Oh, sure.
That I'm like, why didn't you get a career, man? Why is Batista in Guardians of the Galaxy and not Bill Goldberg?
And not Goldberg? What if Goldberg was in Blade Runner 2049?
Yo.
I've seen clips of this movie. Actually, just the other day, it got sent to me, a clip of him coming down the chimney and like kicking a dog, everybody's screaming. And I was like, you know, it's funny, I'm actually about to do a podcast about evil Santas. He's like, put it on the list. It's like, nah. But I remember it when maybe when it came out or got made or whatever, seeing it was like, yo, Goldberg is Santa? Why? And it was like, oh, he's Murder Santa. Right, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Santa could be a very effective Jason Voorhees type guy.
Sure, he comes back every year.
Yeah, he comes back all the time.
He's making a list.
He's
checking it twice.
Oof. Doesn't care if you're naughty or nice.
Doesn't care if you're naughty or nice. This movie's, it's fucked up. This movie is sequel baited too.
Really?
Yeah, there's a big finale. They try to kill Santa. I think it was. It's either a guidance counselor or a youth pastor. I can't remember.
Please God be youth pastor.
I can't remember exactly what his job was, but he was there.
Please God be youth pastor.
They find Santa killed, and eventually they find out that it was the youth pastor in the Santa costume that got burned up or something. And there's a nice after credit sting where he's checking his lists, getting ready for next year, next round of murder.
Because now he's free. So.
And I'm like, where is my Santa?
I thought
2.
Right. I thought you were gonna say that it was a youth pastor was like on a vengeance crusade against Santa.
No,
I was like, that makes sense because there was like there's the war on Christmas, man.
Right.
You know, it's the youth pastor is all hot and bothered about Santa Claus stealing the thunder from little baby Jesus in a manger. Little baby Jesus in a manger.
But yeah, aside from the what I would call a very, very noteworthy performance by Bill Goldberg, going full hog.
Seems like he's just having a good time.
He's having a blast, running around in the suspenders and screaming at people.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's got a knife at one point. There's a lot of points where I'm just like, ain't you a demon?
He just likes knives.
It's a rad movie though. It's real fun.
I'll have to check it out. I mean, I don't know if I could get down on more evil Santa movies
right after this
little escapade of ours.
Sure.
Wait, it's escapade, not escapade, right?
It is escapade.
Escapade? Yes. I think I'm getting it mixed up with sexcapades.
Sexcapade.
Which is a fun word to say.
Mm.
But I like the idea of Big Jack Santa, especially Bill Goldberg, whose career is just being jacked and screaming.
Yeah.
You know? 100%. So it's like, yeah, give him a beard, give him a sack of toys, see what he can pull out of it. Right. Does he ever do, like, Felix the Cat style, like, pulling...
They don't.
Like, crazy shit out of the sack?
They don't have that much fun with it.
Oh,
which is why I'm saying, I'm like, give me a sequel.
Sure.
Go hard.
Because there's a real, like, bag of holding thing going on with his Santa sack.
Yeah.
So I think I always thought it'd be really fun to do, like, you know, Felix the Cat or The Mask or any sort of cartoon where you're just, like, pulling something impossibly large out of the sack. Like, a fucking, you know, some manner of military-grade weaponry that Bill Goldberg would probably look badass holding while dressed as Santa.
Yeah, with the hat.
Yeah, of course. Especially like toward the end of the movie where he's battle damaged, like he's lost the coat, he's just like bare chested, suspenders, hat on still, like beard smoking from cinder and scorched human flesh and shit.
I was having bits where I was going like, man, this suffers from not having a Jeepers Creepers moment where I get to see a demon monster in Santa gear.
Oh, right. I was thinking it was going to lean more, since you said it was sequel bait. I was like, yo, did they do like a Jeepers Creepers 2 with some youth pastor in a rocket chair with a shotgun
Waiting by the
chimney, yeah. He's got one stocking with like a hand grenade in it or something.
Yeah, it's not that fun.
Right,
which is why I think it's one of those things where I'm like, you have something.
Yeah, dial it up.
Yeah, I need the 211 sequel.
Absolutely.
100%.
Fucking go for it. Who cares anymore? You know?
Yeah,
They make sequels to everything.
Everything.
Who gives a shit?
And they're shit all the time.
Yeah, and at least this one, if it's supposed to be shit, then off you go. You know what I mean? You have my blessing.
Whatever studio is working on
Sure.
Dragonheart 7, stop it.
Yeah.
Make Santa
Make
Slays
this
2.
instead. Keep the sets the same. Keep the wardrobe the same. Just make it Santa Claus instead.
100%. It's a fantasy film.
Yeah. Instead of Pete's dragon, it's Santa.
You know,
dragon.
real talk, that could be badass.
Santa
Like
versus the dragon.
a medieval Krampus movie where it's like knights and fucking
Dude, you could do like medieval Lord Santa. It's like Arctic Castle
Yeah.
and stuff. Sure.
Dude.
You remember what King Arthur movie was it where Richard Gere was Lancelot and Sean Connery was?
that wasn't Excalibur, was it?
No.
What was that one?
Excalibur was like Helen Mirren.
No, yeah,
and
Excalibur's fucking.
dude, that's
righteous.
fucking great movie, man.
That's a movie that's part of a select list of ones where I'm like, you could just turn it off and put on any like synthwave or trance music
Absolutely.
and just let it run.
Absolutely.
And it'll fucking rock
That
out.
would be great. It'd be nice to never mind. I'm gonna save that for my own things. I'm not gonna put it out there because it'll get stolen.
It'll get stolen by the zeitgeist.
I know, dude. It's probably already being done. Who cares? Doesn't matter. What the fuck? Yeah, if you were to do like ancient, I get. Well, Santa Claus does have an origin story. It's Santa Claus is coming to town. You know what I'm talking about? With the dude who looks like Woody from Toy Story. At
Right.
the beginning, he's all dancing around. Santa Claus is a ginger fella,
Right.
and he just gets older and older.
You ever see not a horror movie, but you ever see Santa Claus the movie?
I don't know.
Watch it. It's by Richard Donner. It's
good.
It's the team that did Superman.
Oh, damn.
But they do the Superman Let's Do a Mythology for Santa movie,
Okay.
and it is fucking righteous.
Well, Richard Donner is like one of the men.
Like when they show the introduction to the villain in that movie, it's John Lithgow. He's a billionaire toy company guy.
Oh, cool.
He's on trial for bad business practices, and Exhibit A is a teddy bear that he's like, your company realized that stuffing was too expensive. What did you substitute? And they tore it open, and it's like sawdust, glass, and nails coming out of these teddy bears. And John Lithgow's just like shrugging, like, I don't know what the big deal is. And you're like, so it's Santa versus toy company Lex Luthor.
Right.
Just
Some pitiless man.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I love John Lithgow. He needs to stop trying to be serious.
Yeah,
I'll tell him that.
He's too funny, like, inherently.
Yeah, he's just a goofy man.
So what was your first film?
Oh, my first one I'm going to talk about second because it was way better than this one I'm about to talk about. Because this one, okay, I watched my first one,
Right.
and it was fucking kick ass. I really, really enjoyed it, and I started, just browsing, looking for second films. And just couldn't come up with anything. That's when I started a bunch of them. Was like, I can't fucking do this. There was one called, hang on, I got it written down. There was one called All Through the House that I started watching.
I'm aware of it.
And it was so fucking shitty that it probably, if I had started with it, I'd be like, okay, where is this going? Because it's clearly bad. I don't mind. I love watching bad movies.
Right.
But after I just come off the high of the first one I'd watched,
Right.
it was like, I can't deal, man. Like, it had, okay, it starts with, like, there's some fucking bullshit going on. A chick is getting ready to take a shower. So it's like, shitty B-movie, stripping down, just shows the back, and then
Sure.
she's getting into the shower, and then a guy comes.
But you know
open.
I like a little better sometimes.
It's fine.
It's classy.
Sure. Oh, are you talking about the back shot?
Sure.
Not that kind of back shot, you nasties.
You
nasties.
You nasty.
But anyway, so
Put that on the list
It's
of
definitely-
possible names for fans.
the back shot,
nasties.
the nasties. Are you talking
Or
about
the back shots.
dude? Back shot and the nasties.
That's our next band.
Yeah. Or nasty in the back shots.
Either one.
It's interchangeable.
Oh, fuck.
What was that? Oh yeah. Anyway.
Right.
So lady's getting into the shower. A guy comes up, opens the shower curtain, and is like, you're fucking ready for me, huh? And she's like, no, you got to go to the bedroom and essentially get your dick hard before I'm messing with you.
Yes.
Is what she's saying.
You're gonna fluff yourself up.
Yeah, she's pretty much. And so this guy goes into the bedroom. He's clearly struggling. It's like got him facing away from camera, going like, "Come on, man, come on, I need this. Let's go.
All right.
We're getting up."
I feel a little better because it's like, at first I was like, you selfish lady, what are you doing? But
Yeah.
now it's like, oh, it sounds like an ongoing problem with this guy.
Yeah, well, yes, obviously,
He
yeah.
needs a prep.
Which is, things happen.
Right.
3 out of 5. But so Santa comes in, and I forget, it's a little unclear. They probably explain what magic brought this murder Santa about, but I
Yes.
didn't watch it enough. So it was pretty much the chick gets stabbed straight through her tits, straight through her breasticle, and then into the eye with hedge clippers.
Yo.
Right? Through the, he just opened them enough to where the
bam.
blades were eye width
Sure.
and killed her. And then he walks in on this guy. The guy turns around and is like, oh. And then the hedge clippers are facing up. He flips them upside down, snips, and you hear a thud hit the ground. And then it just shows a severed dick on the ground, covered in blood. And I was like, I can't fucking do this right now. I just can't. So I clicked that off. And there was this other one I watched called, Better Watch Out.
Right.
Which, by the way, every Christmas horror movie has a song pun name.
Of course.
Which is what you got to do.
Yeah. If you can't, come up with a good one,
You
Maybe don't
shouldn't,
bother,
you
yeah.
shouldn't be making your movie.
100%.
Exactly right. Or you just have to read every single Christmas song and just start highlighting random parts and be like, I don't know, jingle.
Jing.
You know what I mean?
No, that's like the pseudo serious biopic that we're gonna get eventually.
Yeah.
Jingle.
Jingle. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, you're gonna get weird ones, just like one horse. What is that? Anyway,
Yeah.
so I watched this one called Better Watch Out, and it turned out it wasn't a Santa movie, but it was like pretty well done. It has like bit parts from Patrick Warburton and the lady who played Princess Irulan in David Lynch's Dune.
Right.
I forget her name. Hang on, I wrote it down. Virginia Madsen.
Right.
It starts out with some little girl yelling at her brother, "You butt fucker!"
Whoa.
So I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great."
it's gonna be one of them.
But it turns out it was just like not a Santa Claus movie. It's a Christmas horror movie, and
Sure.
it was good. I'd recommend you watch it.
Right.
But it wasn't Santa.
Bummer.
So anyway, I ended up watching. It was good though. It turns up like a hostage situation, home invasion thing, which I thought was going to be one of the dude is dressed like Santa, and they have to repel this home invasion from a guy who's dressed like Santa.
Right.
Thought it would be game. Wasn't game. What are you gonna do? So anyway, I moved on to this movie called Good Tidings, which is a pretty shit movie where it's English,
Sure.
like the country, not the language, although it is in English. And this camp of homeless people are living in what appears to be a courthouse. They just happen to have worked their way in. Nobody's come to check it out yet, so they're
Right.
just like camping there for as long as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like they're a nice group. Everybody's like real tight knit, family vibe, And one of them is like ex-military.
Sure.
And he's on the streets because he went AWOL.
Right.
And he, had a family. His daughter got abducted, and they never found her. And
Yikes.
his wife, he goes, I blame myself, and so did my wife. So that
Here
didn't
I
work
am.
out. And So anyway, the crux of this movie is the movie opens with a seemingly drunk, I guess, a mall Santa.
Right.
He's walking from his house to his car. He's like trying to take a piss in places, like trying to kick over a fake reindeer, but he's falling down because he's wasted. And he gets to his car, and what looks like Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason is behind him, bagged with one eye, and just brains him, kills him. And two other dudes come up with their faces all wrapped up, and it's clear they're in like hospital gowns, so they're just like escaped inmates.
Sure.
Of like a psych ward somewhere.
And they dress up as Santa.
And they dress up as Santa. They
Sure.
see, there's actually a pretty good shot of them, the like homeless scouting crew, which consists of this military guy and somebody he found on the street who's like, yo, you gotta help me out.
Right.
He's like really hungry. He looks like he's just really shitty at being homeless. Like he's just hungry and cold, and he's like, you gotta know where to look and blah blah blah. But as they're walking up to this door, you see the mall Santa's car drive by, and they're in it. And I was like, yo, are these the Tremor Brothers?
Yo.
This would be great. But it's not the Tremor Brothers. No. It would be awesome, but it's not.
I was also thinking when you were leading up to it, I'm like, yo, it'd be scary if the fucking bugs from Mimic started stealing mall Santa outfits.
That'd be a fucking... Dude, the bugs from Mimic stealing any sort of outfit is a problem.
Learning that, like, getting a real coat helps.
Yeah. Or just, like, if I'm in this bunny costume, nobody really fucks with me. Yeah, that's a huge problem for them to figure out. But, yeah, so the main plot of this movie is these three murder Santas go in and just start fucking laying waste to this family of hobos.
Sad.
It's real sad because they're like having a good Christmas.
You gotta pick on the fringes of society.
They're
They
easy.
have it rough enough.
They're
I
easy.
know,
It's like the whole like torch and winos thing. It's not good to do.
They have it the worst of all of us.
They really do. No one's gonna come looking is the problem.
They're just the easiest to go kill.
Yeah, you can
Do whatever you
do
want.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Don't do it though.
Yeah, be nice to the winos.
Really,
kinda.
you should. They're mostly fine, and that's what they concentrate on this movie a lot. Not a lot, but enough, where they're like, okay, they kind of give circumstantial evidence on why they're in this situation. You know what I mean? There's like a homeless husband and wife who was like, after the whole shit starts going off, people start getting clapped. It was like, they're like, hey, you stayed with me when the business went under. You stayed with me when we lost the house. Like, we're going to be together through this. Like, we'll get through it.
We'll get
and
through.
they don't. They die.
Aw.
But I know, it's very sad too. But there was, toward the end of it, toward like the last probably 35 minutes, I kept checking. They're like, okay, how much longer is
more
this
we got
movie?
left?
Because they really stretch it. And there's one, there's like an addict girl who's getting over a heroin addiction, who's helped by this British ex-military guy.
Right.
And the Santas they play up insanity too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like they're like all giggly and like monkey-like almost, which was like cool at first, but it's like, all right, you're just overdoing it after a while. None of them speak.
Right. They're all dressed
like-
as Santa?
They're all dressed as Santa.
That's a shame.
That's what I said.
You think
too.
having like two of them be elves or something?
There should be one big, because there was one big one and two smaller ones. That's why I was like, yo, it's just the Tremor Brothers.
Right.
And
The big guy should be Santa and the little guy should be elves.
That's what I thought too. But they didn't do it. They're all Santa. And one of them was cool. He has a candy cane.
Sure.
And it's that he is just sucking on the whole time. And when he pulls it out, he's just sharpened it with his mouth. And he sticks people and just puts it back in his mouth.
Nice.
So it's all bloody and gory, and he's just like puts it back in his mouth like it's nothing.
Nice.
Which I actually, when I was in middle school, somebody did that. Like sharpen a candy cane.
Stabbed a dude,
They
dude.
had to stop giving out candy cane at Christmas time because the kid sharpened it and stabbed some kid in the neck with it.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Florida, everybody.
Florida, here we are. The little ones too, so it was like you could get those things sturdy because they're tiny. They won't snap.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's mainly pretty standard fare. Like the Santas killed pretty much everybody except for the addict girl and the British ex-military dude. And I think it's one of those movies where I think they just had access to a courthouse.
Right.
Because they were like, yeah, it's just a big... They never say it's a courthouse, but they're in a courtroom where, like, it's got the jury stand and the fucking where they go deliberate and the judge's seat and everything. Pulpit, I think? approach the bench.
I want to say yes because it sounds right.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
A pulpit is what they do for church. That's where it doesn't matter. Who cares? They have what appears to be a courthouse. But the way they said it was like, yeah, it's just a big building that nobody's come to buy it yet.
Sure.
So we're just camping here. And it was like, dude, this is the they don't have a vacant courthouse. That's insane. But
Right.
And the place is really nice too.
I mean, maybe I could see it. There was that bank in Port Charlotte that was abandoned for a while.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not like a city building. Like somebody still owns that.
Yeah.
But anyway, it wasn't really anything super good. It was kind of fun. The kills were okay.
Right.
You know, the weapons all were obviously fake. Sometimes, though, the injury prosthetics were well done.
Right.
Or at least for their obviously modest budget were really good. But there's an axe and a machete that's obviously rubber. And
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is. And it just wasn't super good.
Right.
You know, at the end. Honestly.
Well,
You know, there's nothing really to reflect on about. The score was actually interesting. Never mind. The score was like kind of synthy, so it was like, all right, they're kind of doing some John Carpenter style,
right.
but a little more upbeat, a little more modern synthwave kind of thing. It was made in like 2016, I want to say.
Wow, it's a recent one.
Yeah, it's pretty recent, but they had like no money and the acting isn't awesome, but
Right on.
good in some spots.
Sure.
and it was whatever.
Well,
was
my
whatever.
second film was. I don't want to say it's better than Santa Sleighs. I liked parts of it a little more. It's a weirder one. It's called Christmas Evil,
Nice.
aka You Better Watch Out, aka Terror in Toyland. I don't know why Christmas movies have so many titles.
Every single, and you would think that there's so many of them
Yeah.
that they would want to just like, okay, pick one because we need to make 50 more.
Yeah,
that
you
all
don't
need
wanna
to have
run
titles.
This movie is interesting, mostly because it has a weird cult following. It's one of John Waters' favorite films. Like
Really?
he holds it up. And
Well,
like,
I mean, how hard do you want me to give a shit about that? John Waters, you weirdo.
John,
I love him.
He's the patron saint of weirdos.
It's true, I love him to death. I want to be around him constantly, but I will be like, what the fuck you talking about?
So
Crazy man.
this movie is from the 1980.
Okay.
It involves a man named Harry who, when he was a small boy, watched his mom get sexually groped by Santa Claus. He has a Charlie Kelly backstory.
Right.
And then while he's, I remember very vividly because he storms upstairs to get away. He cuts his hand on a broken snow globe for just no reason.
Just to
but
drive home the point that
it
Christmas is bad.
really hammers in that he hates it.
Right.
So this guy grows up to be kind of a pathetic corporate loser.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's a middleman. Everybody makes fun of him. It's one of these movies where you're watching it coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
That this guy's going to be a murderer. So he takes the Santa position. I don't know why. Everybody makes fun of him for it. And, you know, so everybody, it really sets up a lot. It's interesting. It's kind of what, if you've ever seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, those movies.
I've seen bits and pieces of probably all or
Yeah, those
of
movies
them.
are often pitched as, like, the movie about a killer Santa where you see his point of view and why he does it.
Right.
This movie is good and does that also. Because
Okay.
Silent Night, Deadly Night is... I'm sorry for everybody who likes B movies and thinks that they like bad, good movies.
Garbage Day.
Garbage Day is the only fucking thing Silent Night, Deadly Night has contributed to my life positively. Those movies suck ass. I hate those fucking movies.
But Garbage Day, dude.
Garbage Day! Also, I thought that dude was, Ferris Bueller for the longest time.
Oh,
I thought it was that dude.
that'd be interesting.
Matthew Broderick?
To get Matthew Broderick in
Yeah,
there?
I thought it was him. for a
It's not
long
Ferris
time.
Bueller. His name is Nick Fantopoulos. Thank you very much.
Yeah. That's a whole different story.
That's an argument we will definitely have. An argument I've been having with the world since
Why can nobody say his name? It's the easiest name.
It's not that hard. It is an argument I've been having with Planet Earth since 1998.
Totopoulos. But yeah, so he's depressed. He's upset. He starts putting on his fake beard one night, and the movie doesn't expressly say this, but he starts kind of going like hazy eyes,
Oh shit.
and then he thinks he is Santa for the duration of the film.
Oh.
And I was like, did he get like high on the glue?
There
What's
you go.
going on? That's what I think they're trying to say.
He's like accidentally using airplane glue on his.
Yeah, he's patching glue and beard onto his face.
Okay.
So I think that's what they're trying to say.
I see no other.
But yeah, it's a weird how they portray it. Like he kind of like dizzies out. So the movie then proceeds from there. There's not a lot I can really say other than there's some fun kills.
Yeah.
He fills, he breaks into a toy factory, fills a bunch of bags with dirt and some with toys.
Cool.
He kills people that made fun of him. He breaks in their house. He kills them in fun little festive ways.
So it's not just like okay, you got to have the festive kills. What are you doing?
Yeah.
If we're going this way, let's go this way. Which is why I was the last one that I talked about was like, there was a bunch of regular kills along with some festive kills. So it was whatever. But he's not just like, he's not doing a naughty list. Is he like making a naughty list?
Not really, no.
Okay.
But he does fun
But
things
but that naughty list consists of people who were mean to him.
He gets some fun, like he kills a dude with like a toy soldier, one of those guys with the little spears.
Oh, sure.
Fun.
Yeah.
And, there's a great but then he also visits I think he goes to a hospital with toys, and they're all just like super happy to see him. But
of course,
you're like he's mid murder spree right now, which is pretty fun. But it's fun because the movie doesn't wrap up right away. The night ends, he goes home, and he's just like there's this fun little shot where he's just in his shitty bloody Santa suit, and he just looks so miserable still. And I was like
this didn't help.
This feels pathetic.
It's like the end of Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
It's just like none of this helped. That's fun.
And then there's this fucking and then he goes back to the factory and he sabotages it. Like he's like, fuck these toys, and he goes on like a bit of a mini rampage in there.
Okay.
And then he drives his van. I forgot to mention this. His van has a picture of the reindeers and the sleigh on it.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
He thinks that it is a Santa sleigh.
Of course, he's hallucinating.
But he also thinks that the reindeer trained his van or something. There's a weird thing with his van.
I see it too. Hang on.
There's a
I'll clap it.
bug clapping around. But it's fun because he gets in the van and he drives super crazy and he wrecks like on the edge of this bridge. And while he's doing that, the townspeople are like, "That's that killer Santa. That's the guy we were seeing." Because
so they know about him.
He was being sloppy, essentially.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, he's insane.
The town does something that I have not seen a movie do since Frankenstein. They unify,
rally,
and they angry mob his van and like fucking finish the job.
That's awesome.
They throw his ass out.
They throw his ass out, or they tip his van over the bridge.
Yeah, they tip his van over the bridge.
That's awesome.
It's great. His rampage ends due to an angry mob by the town.
Good.
It's a fun movie. It's a weird movie. I wouldn't say it's great and the wrong mindset. I had a lot of fun, but I like weird things.
Sure.
I would say mileage may vary. I liked it a lot. I think it's super fun, but I like weird, boring shit sometimes.
Oh, is it like dry up or get slow?
It's the whole
Okay.
It's hit or miss, but it's such a weird film in a lot of spots that I was like, really holding on to stuff.
You can overcome like really dry paced movies with like killer atmosphere.
Yeah.
So as long as and plus I'm like conditioned to that type of like dry, drawn out bullshit in movies of this ilk. So it's like there's a variety of B movies that make me like physically sick.
Right.
But I'm trying to think of an example. But but it has to be a certain kind. You'll know it when you see it. This homemade weird vanity project for $20 bullshit that makes me honestly physically ill. But as long as you're earnest, I respect your moves mostly.
Right. Yeah, of course. Because if it's an honest endeavor, like it always shows.
Yeah, of course. Or even if you're just doing it for honest fun and you're not super concerned about the quality of it and you're just doing this because isn't it fun to make a movie?
Right, right.
Then yeah, I'm down with it.
Sure.
So as far as if it gets dry, I can hack it.
Yeah.
But, maybe your average going movie public, they're going to be watching this and be like, ooh, this is a good thing this was buried.
I mean, it's got the John Waters stamp, so if you know John Waters, you kind
of know what you're getting into.
What this might end up being.
Sure. Which I think, yeah, I do. I'd forgotten about that John
I will
Waters
say
statement.
it is not full on John Waters style. It's not going to be like Pink Flamingos, but you can tell his sensibilities, like what you see parts in this movie where you're like, I bet John Waters like that part.
Yeah, this is what he digs. Sure.
There's a lot of like, it's a lot of good stuff where you get people who aren't good real actors doing things. There's a couple moments in the movie like that, I would say, where somebody will talk and you're like, that would not have been as good to me of a line if a real actor said it.
Right.
Yeah, that's only because that was some dude that said it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And this excites me.
Yeah,
because those really crack me up. The best out of context clips you could ever dig up are those types of things.
Yeah. So did you watch any other movies?
I sure did, man. There's one I'm really, really happy I watched.
Right on, get on it.
It is called, I have to check, because I forget. They all have puns.
Yeah, they
You know what I
bleed
mean?
together.
I forget which one it was called. Oh, no, this one wasn't actually. It was called Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. And it was fucking killer, dude.
Right.
It was so good.
Title sounds familiar.
It's a recent movie. I forget what year it was. I made note, but I didn't write it down. So I guess I didn't make note.
Right.
Made a mental note, and then I threw it away, apparently. But, okay, so essentially, the plot of this movie, it seems that Santa and Krampus are the same thing.
Sure.
Okay? And it opens on this mountain where a drilling crew is boring into the earth.
As they do.
Yeah, it's literally their whole job.
Yo,
I don't know if you know.
Could you imagine if they did like the Santa Claus 4 and he finds out that like, no, when kids are too naughty, you werewolf out into Krampus.
You become the Krampus.
And you kill them in the middle of your route.
It's like a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
You've done it already.
Yeah,
you don't even know.
And then you get to I went, ah!
Dude, what if he's in Krampus makeup, but he only talks in like his Home Improvement, like.
Picturing this fucking hulking monster.
Yeah, he is disgusting.
Antlers just
Huge horn.
bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, like the sleigh falls down, and like that's how the scene transitions. It's oh my god.
Fuck.
Anyway, so okay, it actually opens. It's in like an office, like a little portable
Right.
office. And there's talking to what seems to be the foreman of the drill crew is talking to what appears to be the benefactor, the John Hammond of the situation.
Sure.
And he goes, "We found these in the samples," and he dumps it down. It's sawdust.
Right.
And he's like,
Oh, I was gonna say tinsel or something.
I thought
That'd
it was
be
gonna
so
be
great.
I thought it was gonna be something like that. Yeah. Or like
Candy
shattered,
canes,
shattered
peppermints.
ornaments and peppermints, or or
Like, what is that doing down there?
bits of nutcracker or whatever, or Christmas cookies.
Yo,
could have been anything.
Do the thing, but what
this
the other
movie-
site found was the
Yeah,
remnants
exactly.
of the workshop.
See, but this movie is of a higher caliber.
Oh.
Okay, because he finds sawdust, and the the benefactor of this endeavor that they're on here goes, "Oh, they used to use sawdust to preserve ice way back in ancient times."
Right.
So, as it turns out, this mountain is actually a burial mound for Santa.
Fuck.
Because Santa is Krampus, actually.
Right.
Okay? And these people got fucking sick of Santa Claus, Krampus. And
Sure.
they never say the word Krampus. It's always Santa, right? And they lured him into a lake, dropped him in there, froze him, and
Right.
piled rocks on top of him until it was this mountain.
Yeah. There's
And then
enough rocks that he couldn't get out.
Exactly. And then
yeah.
it just froze over, and became this mountain, right? So the main I guess the main cast of this movie are reindeer farmers. Like they farm reindeer like you would in a video game. They farm it.
They have like a ranch.
It's not a ranch. They have this thing where they bait a bunch of reindeer into a electric fence, and then
Right.
they probably shoot some, sell some, whatever. They might shoot them all. I don't know, for the pelts and the meat and whatever. They fill their freezers, and that's how they make their money for the year.
Right.
Right. Well, these reindeer never come, and they're like, "Fuck,
What do we do?
This is a huge problem. This is our whole...
our export.
Yeah, we are really, really screwed.
Right. We're in fucking East Flank, Alaska. What are we gonna do?
Oh no, they're in Sweden.
Oh,
I think it's Sweden. Pretty sure it's Sweden. And so it was a foreign language movie because they're speaking Swiss. And,
but they am Swiss.
No. But anyway, so they're scouting out and they see this. They come across the flock of reindeer, the herd of reindeer, probably the herd. The flock is birds. This herd of actually reindeer fly. Oh, so there's a connection there. I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Anyway, they come across this gathering of reindeer that they were supposed to catch, and they're all slaughtered.
Oh no!
And they're like, this is a fucking huge issue. What wolves would do this? Like, none of them are eaten; they're just killed.
Right.
No, I think
Who
some
walked
of them
around
were eaten.
snapping a bunch of reindeer.
Some of them were eaten, I think,
Right.
but it was because these kids, these two kids,
We're just gnawing on reindeer.
they cut a hole in this fence that was the borderline to this other province.
Right.
So they're like, dude, now we got to deal with these wolves from this province. They're bigger for this reason, but they were just checking out the drilling site and blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
So it's kick off this movie because now people start getting desperate
Sure.
because their livelihood has been like severely compromised.
Yeah.
So they come across Santa, who is been let loose from his icy prison and is now sniffing out kids and is just a naked old guy who falls into a wolf trap and they catch him.
Right.
And they're trying to like, hey, they think he's the foreman of the drill site because he killed the drill people.
Right.
And is wearing one of their jackets.
Of course.
And so they think he's a drill guy. He's like, yo, we'll ransom this guy to get our money.
Right.
That we need for the year, you know what I mean? From this drilling company.
Right.
And, but shit starts going real fucking sideways. And, there's some fucking twists and turns and a incredible ending. The ending is so good, man. I was fucking, here, let me check some notes here. I'm not going to spoil the ending at all.
Right.
It says what it is here, but don't tell them.
Ooh. Whoa!
Oh.
Whoa! That one just said this movie rocks.
Yeah, this one just says this movie fucking rocks. Let's see. Everybody's wardrobe is fucking awesome. There's more foreign kids and mullets. So I really enjoyed the wardrobe. Their gear is great. Everybody's got rifles and like down jackets on snowmobiles and like different cobbled together clothes to keep them warm. So like, yeah, lots of leather, lots of, oh man, it's so fucking cool. Everybody's rifle is just like what they're handing. This little kid ends up in like a down snowsuit with like hockey pads on and like a helmet and a over under break action shotgun across, but he's like this tall. So the shotgun is huge and he's just like, he turns out to be the fucking, like, he's the main kid of the movie. It's, oh man, it was so good. There's, it's a lot of wardrobe actually. They're driving Santa. Oh, there's actually this cool, where the movie really starts to take a turn, is the scene where they're going to exchange Santa.
Right.
Because the
exchange Santa.
Yeah. Well, the reindeer farmers have this Santa. They don't know it's Santa. They think it's a drill guy, like the drill foreman. The company that is drilling knows that it's Santa. They're drilling for Santa.
Right.
They're trying to find him. And so this exchange gets set up where they're like, okay, they want this drill guy back. We're going to ask for this money. The company is like, oh, they have Santa. We're just going to make the exchange. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's gaining, but they think it's from different things. Right? And that's when the movie really takes a fucking twist, where like some shit is not what you think it is, and all of a sudden they have this like weird cage Pope mobile that they're driving Santa around in. It looks like a rad, like a Raptor Ranger, a Ford Raptor Ranger thing with a cage in the back that Santa's just standing up in. So it looks like this crazy Pope mobile. Oh man, it was a really good movie. You guys got to go watch Rare Exports. It was so fucking good. It's in Swedish or Swiss. So which I think probably different things. I'm such an American. I got no idea.
No, that's gotta
Sweden
be.
and Swiss are the same thing?
Yeah, that's
No
gotta
clue.
be the same thing.
No clue. I'm from America.
We don't get paid to care.
I don't know. I would care. might remember it, but
It's our
I also
education
might
system.
not.
They just don't prioritize knowledge.
Our education system is garbage, man. They don't give a fuck about it. Well, you're on purpose supposed to be stupid, so you just join the machine. That's a whole topic for another day, anyway.
I was looking the movie up for details. I guess there's a sequel.
No.
Yeah. There's a sequel called The Official Rare Exports Incorporated Safety Instructions.
Yo,
And it
it's
is-
probably awesome.
It's a short, I guess. It's like a
That's
short
totally fine.
follow-up that is the aftermath of the plot of the film.
That's
it
totally
literally
fine.
just says, we show the horrendous results of abusing Father Christmas. So I have to
watch it right away.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, Matt,
Fuck
it
yeah.
was so good. The ending especially.
Uh-huh.
The way it involves a fucking helicopter and like leading a fucking weird naked mob into the snow. It's fucking incredible, dude. It's so good.
Right on.
And I can't I want to talk about it more, but you gotta watch it.
You need to see it
Do
fresh.
not ruin it. I'm not
Okay.
going to ruin anything.
Yeah.
It's what I was really it looks great. The camera angles are amazing. The score is, pretty cut and dry. There's nothing really stand out about it, but the fucking wardrobe really had me had me all about it. Had me wanting all the gear. You know what I mean?
Made you, yeah. made you
Everybody's
wanna
really
get down.
good in it too. Even the kid actors are like really, really good.
Right on.
Especially the main kid is really good. And it might be because it's foreign language, so I can't tell if they're shit.
Right.
Because they're speaking another language. But
Right.
the emotion is there. You can see once shit starts going sideways, the desperation is on people's faces, and it was good, man. Really, really good. It's what soured like the rest of
The
everything.
rest of them, yeah. Honestly,
Until our main movie.
Yeah, well, we're gonna cover the real crime stuff here for a
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
But yeah, our main movie, holy shit.
What a ride.
We'll get to it, but man, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to transition.
Yeah.
So with real life true crime stuff, a lot of it is going to be
The same guy.
yeah, it's people wearing a Santa suit and killing their family. Usually,
Usually their ex-family.
yeah, there's a lot of that. Like, I know I brought up an article of a couple of them just to fresh up.
Is it the iHorror one?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a good one.
I just read it in Perkins like this
Dude.
afternoon.
I was looking for different actual ones, and I found this one that had like 3 on it.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
the same
it's a
thing I
solid
did.
one.
It's the same thing. I have the same article. Right?
Nice.
Well, I mean, how
Look
many?
Look at us doing research.
I mean, kinda.
But yeah, like that
You'd
first
be
one.
hard pressed to find anybody who does less research than we do.
What's the first one? Yeah, the first one, 2008, 45-year-old Bruce Jeffrey Pardo.
That guy is the most insane one. He was my
Yeah.
It was the one as soon as we were bringing up how to do true stories. That was the one. As soon as I googled it, was like, oh, that's right, this guy.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about him.
He like went to his ex-wife's family's house on Christmas Eve. They're having like dinner,
They were having a Christmas Eve dinner party.
and he knocked on the door, dressed as Santa with present and a gun.
He had a 9mm handgun in his hand and a wrapped present. And a 9-year-old girl answered the door, and he shot her in the
He
face
did, yeah, that
immediately. And started to, I think he killed like 9 people.
Yeah, he is immediately a worse person than our main movie's villain.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, he killed like as many as he could before he like torched that place.
He took that homemade when he opened his present,
Yeah.
it was a homemade flamethrower.
Yeah.
And he burnt that fucking house to the ground.
Uh-huh.
That girl lived.
Oh, that's nice.
That
Yeah,
he
yeah.
shot in the face, or at least that's what that article said. They might just be saying that to make me feel better.
I like the Jason Voorhees level, not to make light of this, with my hype, but he stays in the house and they found him and the Santa suit was melted to him.
Yeah,
Dude, that's like real talk.
because he blew his brains out. He went after he he went on his rampage. He burnt the house to the fucking ground, and then he drove to his brother's house like a half hour
Yeah.
away, and just fucking blew his brains out. They said that he thought he was gonna flee to Canada after he did it, but he just like fucked up too bad, and he was covered in 3rd-degree burns. And
I just love the image of like a burned,
Charred.
zombie with like a Santa suit like shrink wrap melted to
Yeah.
him, like,
All, like,
dragging himself through
steaming
the snow.
Yeah.
I like that image for a unrelated horror movie that doesn't involve a poor 9-year-old being shot because this guy's
Who
a
can
fucking
never
dickhead.
look at Santa again because this
Ever.
dude's a sick fuck. I hate when they look. I'm glad they're dead
Yeah.
because fuck that asshole.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted someone else to
do
cap
it.
him.
Yes.
I don't want him to give. I don't want him to do himself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
Bad people should get offed by somebody else. The
let's
satisfaction
say-
should be on somebody else.
yeah, for real. It should be a guy, I don't know, dressed as the Grinch or something, you know? Or real Santa. Or
Yeah.
real Santa should come around and slit his throat.
Yo, where's our movie where we do evil Santa breaks into the house, but like halfway through, Krampus shows up to get that guy,
Okay,
and then the kid is like caught between two monsters.
sure.
But then Krampus is good to the kid because the kid's good.
Right. Or actual Santa shows up to
Right.
subdue Krampus, and then it's like, it just keeps escalating.
Keeps escalating until finally it's like, I don't know who would come down next, but Jesus is like, guys, come on, man.
Relax,
It's
yeah,
on my
Jesus.
birthday.
On my birthday, guys.
Really?
Come on, every fucking year.
Like, do you think Santa and Krampus are like Wolverine and Sabretooth? Like, they've just
Probably.
been dealing with each other for so long.
They're like, not, they hate each other, but they're not exactly enemies sometimes.
Krampus gets knocked out and is in the hospital, and they're like, what do we do with him? And Santa's like, I know what to do. And he, like, pops the glass.
But it's candy canes. Yeah.
What's the next one in that article?
But that, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that
guy's
guy
a
sucks.
piece of shit, man. I mean, they're all pieces of shit.
I am going to butcher this name, but yeah, Texas family on Christmas Day in 2011, 56-year-old Aziz Yazdan Panana. Panana? Yeah.
His was less eventful.
Yeah, it really is like, it seems to be a lot of dads really bummed that they got divorced.
Yeah.
Putting a
That's-
Santa suit on and shooting their wife. Or
Yeah, that's
going to
mostly
kill
what it
their
is.
wives.
Because it's literally, well, maybe not literally, but it's honestly mostly what it is.
Yeah, it's almost the shame of the real world, where, you know, statistically the people that kill you are people you know, and it's just boring in a thematic talk about kind of way. Like, it
Yeah, you don't get
sucks.
like Son of Sam very often.
Yeah.
Thank God. Where he's just like beefing random people. It's always
Right.
some fucking, yeah, like your shitbag dad who's just fucking drunk and doesn't want to live, so he's so selfish that nobody else close to me should live either.
Yeah.
It's mainly like, look, you want to, I get it. I know plenty of people who are divorced, and you're just like, yo, fuck my ex. You know what I mean? I get it. I am around the sentiment constantly. But once you start bringing kids into it and start killing kids and shit,
Yeah.
why are you know what you're doing. Your own kids? Look, I got a kid, and like, you know, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I didn't like. I mean,
But you're not gonna.
Yeah.
Come on.
having kids put a fire under me for that kind of stuff. Not to say I didn't care about children before. I've always been like, don't fucking kill the children.
What are you doing?
But now especially, I despise when dads are like, well, I can't have my kids and nobody will, and then boom. It's like that dude that stole his 2 sons and blew up his house
Yeah,
by rigging his like water heater.
dude. Ridiculous.
There is a fun guy I found that was not in that article. Bring my bookmark up.
There was some.
His name is Bruce MacArthur.
Okay. That sounds kind of familiar.
He's referred to as a killer Santa a bit because he looks the part mainly. He's often lumped in with these dudes.
Oh, but he wasn't like Christmas themed.
Not necessarily
Murder.
but he let me find it. Yeah, he looked the part and he was a mall Santa for a bit. He was known around town as Santa. Like,
I
he
mean,
was
that
the
is
Santa guy.
that's just Santa Claus. What you're showing me that picture.
But look at the eyes, man. If you ever look up the Bruce MacArthur Santa picture, it don't zoom.
Son of a bitch.
But look at him.
Yeah, he's
Got a look about him.
It's cold. It's coldness.
Yeah, it's ice cold.
This seems like the Conan shit should be scrolling over him. He's like, and the hat sat upon a troubled brow.
Dude, Santa Conan.
You know?
But yeah, he also was murdering people. He had a landscape business. And he was, he's stashing bodies.
You know.
He was known, though, he would do, like, he would kill people and then he would pose for pictures with the bodies. That was a big thing of his. He might be one of the more interesting ones because he was an actual ongoing serial killer that would take, like, lots of photo shoots. Not all of them, I don't think any of them are really Santa or Christmas themed.
Right.
But it's a tangential connection. He was known as that town's Santa.
What's his body count? Does it say?
I don't know. Let me look.
I think I'm looking at one now, and I think it's fiction.
Yeah.
Because I clicked upon it, and it said, because somebody murdered 42 Santa Clauses. And I was like, Santa Claus killer? Okay.
Yo, that's fun.
It's a guy who kills Santa Clauses? That's interesting. But I think it's fiction. Maybe it's not. I can't really...
Right.
There's so much of it. Look at it.
Damn. He killed at the very least 14 people.
God damn.
Is one of the numbers I've seen. But yeah, that was probably the closest to being as, I think, prolific as that guy who burned that house down.
Well, that guy I'm pretty sure his was 9. He got 9 people.
Yeah. That one's the big
But that doesn't count because you're just like, there's fucking kids in there.
If you look up Killer Santa, like, that's the guy that pops up.
Yeah. Well, it's the most recent, I think.
Yeah.
When did you say that one was?
I want to say it was like 2008, something like that.
Well, the 08 was, I think, when Pardo was fucking around too.
What was going on with that year?
I don't know. That was the year of the Deadly Santa. Well, this one says it was in LA. The Covina Massacre. Yeah, it says
hear about this
9
one.
here. No, that was Pardo.
Oh, that's him?
That's
Okay.
Pardo. Yeah, it was the Covina.
Well,
I'm gonna donate. I'm gonna fucking donate.
Wikipedia.
I will. I'm gonna throw you like $50 or something because you've been there for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
just not right now. Don't make
Killer
me feel
Santas
bad.
in real life, sadly, not a real thing. There's nobody lining up to make that their MO in a serial killing,
Well,
necessarily.
no. It's always some dude at the end of his rope who
Yeah.
it knows he's going to kill himself
Uh-huh.
and decides, let's fucking. I'm gonna flush the toilet. Let's get everything.
Let's go
in the
wild.
whirlpool. You know. Fuck it.
And it's not like a terrible disguise.
No, especially around Christmas time.
Yeah.
You're gonna get. There has to be a movie where like Santa bank robbers, right?
That would be. Yeah.
Where it's like fucking
It's the town.
3,000 miles to Graceland.
Yeah.
But with Santa Claus instead of
Oh.
Elvis.
What's in the Santa Claus? There's a montage towards the end where they're trying to find Scott Calvin, and they're just arresting
throwing-
every Santa they can grab.
Yeah. Just throwing all mall Santas against the car and stuff.
Yeah.
Against the cop
Like
car.
what other option do you get?
I remember nothing really.
Oh man.
I mean,
And another problem with real life Santa murder is none of them are festive.
no.
No strangling people with lights. No.
Well, because, you know,
no tinsel.
supervillains don't really exist. Well, they do, but they're all Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's which is like,
White collar crime is the real super evil,
yeah.
and unfortunately, there's no like white collar superheroes,
I know it.
right?
They try to be, but they suck at it.
They suck at it.
I mean, Iron Man.
They're fighting fire with fire.
Oh, you're talking about
Real
real life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can.
Sorry.
That's because white collar crime and superheroes still ends with a giant robot.
Yeah, it's true. There's
Usually.
still punches.
But yeah, it sucks. It's and they're always sad. They're always dads fucking up their families.
I could
They're
not
not
believe.
fun.
I could not believe.
Not to
there
say
wasn't-
murder should be fun,
no, of course
but
not. You can have some flair at the very least.
yeah,
Fucking, which I mean, dressing up as Santa, kind of flary, I guess.
sure.
But I wanted somebody who was like obsessed with Santa, thought he was Santa so hard that he
Yeah.
was like, well, I got to be Krampus too or something.
Sure.
And just start. But then again, real life Santa going crazy is a problem because it's always gonna be kids,
Always gonna be kids,
and that's bad.
It's inherently, yeah. What we desire to be the most fun to talk about is the worst fucking thing in the real world.
Possible?
Yeah.
Literally the worst thing possible.
Uh-huh.
I always said that after my son has been old enough to start actually being a pain in my ass, like a mobile pain in my ass, not just like a ball of crying flesh. But I was always like, I never, before I had kids, I never thought about hurting children. But now that I have one, I'm like, I'm gonna kill this little thing. I'm just gonna grab by his ankles
Right.
and just pitch him into a lake. You'd think it'd be the other way around. You wouldn't really be that, you wouldn't be against.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to
being
express
a dad is not learning to be more compassionate for children, and it's not learning to hate them. It is learning that you are now in the fucking fine line between caring so much about them and also being like, I could just leave you in the woods right now,
I
pal.
never want to fucking hear your shitty little voice again. Ask for Shrek one more time.
Ask for Shrek.
Do it.
But
I fucking dare you.
But then
dude.
he wobbles a little bit on the edge of the
And
sidewalk.
you're like,
Whoa!
"Whoa!"
Won't fall and hurt himself whatsoever, but you're still like,
Yeah, exactly.
you're still like Mufasa for a sec. You're like,
Yeah, for real. Or you see him like as he's wandering a little close to a sharp corner.
Yeah, you're like,
just like, watch out, bud, watch out,
yeah,
watch out.
watch out. Oh, okay. But then like 5 seconds later, you're like, all right, man,
Get away from me.
That's the
No, he's
reality.
great.
That's the reality of being a
I
parent.
know. My son's fucking awesome, dude.
It's like being a Cenobite. Love and hate,
It's all one.
pain and pleasure. It's all one.
It's all
Being a
one.
parent.
It's Hellraiser.
It's,
Oh shit.
Oh no. Cenobites try to take some single mom, and she's like got the hair rollers, and she's all like smoking a cigarette. They're like, "Are you okay? Do you need time?" She's like, "Nah, I'm good."
I'm good.
And she's they're like, "We can come back,
Dude.
You look like you got a whole thing going on."
Yeah. Like, where you gonna take me?
I don't
Fuck
care.
you. You don't want to go. You don't want me there.
Yeah.
Dude, Cenobite Santa Claus though.
Yo. Center. I don't know.
Centibite?
I was trying to think of a fun one.
Santa Claus? There's something in there.
Yeah. There's something there.
He's all black leather instead, but
Right,
it's like a
right.
big spike
Right.
on his head. That's like
Yeah, yeah.
drove into his head.
Right. And he's got like candy cane teeth.
Sure.
Cool shit.
And just like Christmas lights, but they're tied real tight around his nipples and pulled like super tight around his.
Yes. 100%.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm picturing it.
And he's got like he like a car batter like sparks up and like it gets electrocuted but the lights
Yeah.
go brighter. Gross.
Yeah, it is nasty.
Oh, and he's got like a ball gag, but it's like an ornament.
Ooh,
Dude.
good call. That's pretty good.
And you're just like little kids are just like, why? He's just like shaking and drooling.
Yeah.
It's the same.
why?
It's the Santa Claus, but the Santa dies and there's the puzzle box. It's a present.
cool.
He unwraps it and it's
Dude, what if that'd be a good Hellraiser movie where you like get a present and it's like, oh, who's this one from? This is weird. You open it, it's the puzzle box.
yeah. Who is this from? I just picture Pinhead being like, I'm going to send this to the
Yeah.
Petersons.
He's wrapping it up. You can make it look regal though. It's like black sheen
like
paper
a
with like
nice-
gold wrapping paper. You know.
like a fancy chocolate company.
Yeah, dude.
Super dark.
classy
Yeah.
Cenobites. You know, that's something that they don't get. Cenobites don't get credit for is being fucking high class.
100%.
I think so.
Man, we're due for a good Hellraiser.
I haven't seen anything beyond. Oh, probably 3. I don't think I've ever seen the 4th one.
Don't.
No.
Even 3's pushing it.
3, I remember not being a big fan. Hellraiser 2 like kicks ass.
Yeah,
but
100%. But no, they suck.
yeah.
Pass. Yeah.
'Cause I like their fucking like rhombus god in there.
It's a shame, too.
Weren't we just talking about this?
We were. You and me talk about Hellraiser at least once every 3 months.
That's probably right. Oh, you know what? Because we did the double feature episode. We were talking about Hellraiser.
Correct. Yep. Well,
That was the mark.
we don't have anything better to say about real life murder Santas,
I
sadly.
mean,
So do we move on to the main event?
we could. I don't know how I feel about being like, man, I wish there was more Santa murders.
I mean,
Because I don't, but
for content at least.
yeah, but
Ideally, I wouldn't want any of these to happen.
No, of course not. But I just wish there was one that was more fun.
Yeah.
Like there was a Santa Claus vigilante.
Yeah, something we could get real excited about talking about. But sadly, yeah, it's just a lot of like sad crime.
Yeah, just depressed, drunk idiots dressing up like Santa and
Right.
fucking blowing their own brains out after they kill a couple people. Mm-hmm. There should be. What if there was a Santa Claus vigilante, dude?
Like
He was out there and he was making a list.
like
You know
with
what
a
I'm saying?
shotgun, but
Yeah,
Santa,
dude.
right
But
on.
he, he does his naughty list, and instead of coal, you're getting a fucking bullet. You know what I'm saying?
it's all just like lower level mob bosses.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think Frank Castle's ever worn a Santa hat, ran around. On
Oh,
Christmas.
absolutely.
Has to have.
For sure, that's a thing. You remember there was a thing in the '90s where he was like going undercover as a mob enforcer. He grew a ponytail, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was a cool one. Probably sucks. I liked his look, but
Right.
it's probably about it. I don't remember reading anything. I think somebody came up against him actually. Somebody was like, "Punisher, you're working for the mob now," and he's just like, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up, man! I'm not the Punisher anymore. You're the Punisher. I'm not the Punisher."
Punisher. Oh man. Well, we will move
Yeah,
in.
fuck it.
Let's move
Let's
into
do
our,
it.
our grand finale.
Because god damn it.
God damn it. I will apologize ahead of time. There's a light rain rolling in, so forgive us for the pitter patter.
I like the atmosphere.
It's nice. It is nice. So this film was recommended by our friend Eric, who recommends a lot of films to us.
Yeah.
It is known as 3615 Code Pierre Noel, also known as Deadly Games, also known as Dial Code Santa Claus, also known as Game Over, also known as Hide and Freak. This is a 1989 French horror thriller.
I wasn't shocked. I was like, because he read a bunch of things. I was like, taking a breath in. Anyway.
I didn't know this, but apparently due to its similarities to Home Alone, the guy who made this
Yeah.
threatened to sue them because he said they basically remade my movie.
Oh, this came first.
This came the year before.
Oh, right, because 89. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how... shit.
Right?
Was there another...
This is directed and written by the same guy.
That's,
Renee Manzor.
That seems right. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
seems like a man's vision. You know what I mean?
So yeah, this is a French
Was there
horror
any
film.
more, like, kid repelling home invasion movies?
Yeah,
can't think
100%.
of-
There was
right?
a couple, but they
Yeah.
weren't. None of them hit the same peaks, man.
Yeah.
Home
no,
Alone
I mean, like,
eclipsed it.
before.
Oh, before? I don't know of any.
I don't either.
Home Alone was the first one in my head.
Yeah,
always.
same.
And now this one is older.
And they did a million of them, obviously, but...
Yeah.
I mean, they did, like, at least 3 Home Alones. That I
Right.
know.
So this movie takes place in a French town, obviously, centered around a wealthy family. The boy is named Thomas, I think it was.
Yes,
Yeah,
Thomas.
who lives with his overworked single mother,
Yes.
his diabetic half-blind grandfather, which is a huge plot point.
fucking 3/4 blind.
Yeah,
The man cannot see
super
a
blind.
thing.
And his sweet little dog JR.
God damn it, JR.
The boy is super smart. He has converted large portions of his house to have secret tunnels.
Yeah,
He has
got
a sweet
traps.
fort. Yeah, traps.
He's got a control of the PA system.
Yeah, he's got camera. He has a security system that's linked to his
pit boy?
His pit boy that he's got. Yeah, this movie. Before we get into it, is fucking incredible.
It's so fucking nuts.
It's fucking wild.
It was so much fun. I had a blast watching this movie.
and yeah, so
the ups, the downs,
Yeah.
the emotion.
It's fucking wild. But yeah, he's got such a positive family. The whole movie, the whole first half hour, we were just watching. And we kept commenting like, "Wow, this family's just they love each other."
well, it's yeah,
The kid's not like a little shit. He's got a rockin' mullet.
dude. His mullet is so good. This was the second. This was the second incredible Christmas movie.
Yeah.
With kids in mullets with guns that were speaking not English. at
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
that I
yeah.
had to read in subtitles. It was incredible how it came together. But yeah, it was I really enjoyed the family because you can tell right away they're very close knit. The kid seems like a little shit at first because he's hunting the dog.
Yeah.
Throughout the house.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So he kind of, is he gonna be like a little asshole?
Yeah, yeah.
But then he goes and he like jumps on his grandpa's bed. And he's like, "Well, that guy's dead." We were
Yeah,
like,
we were
"That
like-
that old man is dead."
Yeah, it felt like he was gonna be like a rich little shit.
Yeah.
Until you're like,
Until they start talking,
Yeah.
and like they're like, "Okay, go get your grandpa." One of the housemaids says.
Yeah.
And so it's time for breakfast. So they go in there, and he fucking gets his grandpa. He handcuffs him
yeah,
to his grandpa, and they drag him on in there, and then they sit down for breakfast at this table. The mom starts talking and stuff, and it's like, oh no, they're just this is their game.
Yeah.
This is how they play.
The grandpa and him are so close.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Everybody's so fine with it, and they bring up his dad for a second,
Yeah, yeah.
and everybody gets really somber.
it's
for a
such a
minute,
specific choice.
Never brought up
Yeah,
again.
because it's only important for that little moment.
That's all you need.
It's so good. And running tangentially to this, we get cutaways to this desperately homeless dude who wants to play with kids. Like that scene, boy, we thought that scene was creepy. Little did we know that that scene is actually sad.
Yeah, exactly. It was very sad, but I could tell right away when he first jumped on screen and was like, "I don't like that guy. What are you doing, dude?"
Yeah, that guy's the bad
With
guy.
your like canary yellow scarf.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's actually the opening of the movie.
Yeah, it's the first scene. It's him trying to play snowball fight.
It's a snowball fight within about maybe 10 dozen kids.
Sure.
All free for all snowball fight. It's great. It's like everybody's laughing. There's little girls getting hit in the face with snowballs. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. I miss being up north sometimes. But and then this guy tries to join the snowball fight. He grabs some snow, starts balling up, and these kids just like scatter like the roach with the light on,
yeah.
just fucking out of there. Because you're a full-grown man,
yeah,
trying to join a snowball fight.
creepy looking full grown.
and he's got a problem face.
yeah, he's got one of them faces.
Yeah, it's not good.
But yeah, so after he gets rejected, he like shuffles on down to, you guessed it, a local mall to be a Santa at
be
a
a mall
party,
Santa.
an event that's going on for this business.
Oh right, yeah. So he's not a mall Santa.
Yeah.
You're right.
The boy's mom's company is doing like a Christmas event, and
Yes.
he's the Santa essentially.
Because it seems too when his mom goes in and kind of like has the board meeting and it's be like, okay, we need this many Santas. Christmas is tonight. We got to get all this
feels
shit set up.
last minute.
I was like, dude, you knew Christmas is coming.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing? What, did
Why
you
was
just-
it this place?
Maybe she just had the idea that morning over breakfast. Who knows? But I guess what they're saying is like they're kind of desperate for Santas.
Sure.
So maybe background checks ain't really getting done as they ought. So that might be a thing.
You know, I will say the dad doesn't come up, but they do make a point that her chauffeur is that guy that's always trying to help her out, and they definitely subtly imply that
was the same guy.
she might be dating him.
Yeah.
And that's why the son doesn't like him necessarily. They do a lot of like nice side of the movie, like read the lines stuff.
Yeah, it's
it's
there's
nice.
some subtlety, absolutely.
Right.
There's that's when we said it was like, yo, his mom's dating Knight Rider? No way.
But yeah, so the kid is left with Pappy. You're introduced to a friend of his, but his friend doesn't.
It's like
His-
Papillon.
His friend
Something
doesn't
like that.
matter at all. And his
Not
friend
particularly.
his friend does come back during the climax and run away, but never comes back, which leads me to assume that kid might be dead or gone.
Yeah, well, I think he just booked it. He provided a distraction for a second, I think. So that's good. But it was at a point in the movie where distraction might not. Anyway, we're getting ahead of it.
But so the kid is left alone in the house while the mom's doing this thing. Meanwhile, the guy, he has this encounter with a little girl where she goes up to him because he's the Santa.
yeah, the
And
scene
he's-
is set up.
He's
yeah.
having like he's having a moment where he's touching her, and it's kind of creepy.
It's actually it
Yeah.
is very creepy.
but once
but
you
he
know the
is-
whole movie, it's
Yeah, once it starts
Yeah.
falling into place, it becomes a little sadder because he is like, he looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
you know, he's like
He
playing
looks
with
very
the kids.
warm when he's like-
he's joyous
Yeah.
on his face. He's just got a super creepy face.
Yeah.
So joy on it looks horrifying. And this little girl comes up, and he's like, hey, what's your name? Her name was Marion, I think.
yeah.
And
he does talk that scene, doesn't he?
puts him
because he doesn't talk
puts her on
very
his
much.
knee. She kind of starts getting a beat on the Santa Claus, and it's like, you're not Santa Claus. I don't
Right.
like your face. She says,
Yeah.
after I was
Yeah.
commenting, I was yelling at the screen, like, I don't fucking like this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And right away, the girl was like, I don't like his face.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what? Thanks, little girl, for backing me up. And as soon as she says that, he clocks that little girl in the mouth.
Yeah, he
like right away.
full clocks her. We were pretty impressed.
Like, yo!
And
Damn.
he is fired on the spot. We actually missed a bit. The little boy, he has some kind of strange 1980s computer that's connected to an internet-like thing.
Which has internet kiosks.
Yeah, throughout the town?
It's kind of throughout. That might be the only one. It's the only one you see.
Yeah, because he's trying to get a hold of Santa.
He's trying to email Santa Claus.
Right.
Rudimentarily. And rudimentarily? Who cares?
Yeah.
He's shittily.
Yeah.
And so he gets on the line with this dude who is typing back who might really believe he's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
He might really believe that. But at this point, it just seems like he's a fucking creeper who's like, yeah, I'm Santa Claus, little boy.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I was taking a drag of a cigarette.
He asks for him to give him his address, and then he proceeds to become Santa.
That's when he walks directly from the kiosk into the place to apply to be Santa.
Yeah. And then he gets fired for clocking the little girl in the mouth, and he after getting fired, he travels to the address that he has acquired that was provided to him by the little boy.
Yeah, which I think is unrelated to it being the mom who fires him for slapping a little girl in the mouth.
Yeah, I'm uncertain exactly how much of this is cause and effect and how much is just plain old happenstance in a way.
Well, because the dude is nuts.
Right.
That comes across pretty fucking clear in the rest of the movie. The dude is legitimately insane in a tragic way too. It comes to light. But yeah, okay, so he goes to there's a delivery being made to the house.
Yeah.
That he hides in the back of the van that is making the delivery. And as soon as the guy who's driving the van goes to the cargo area, opens the door to try and to get the packages out, murked right away. Sucked in there, presents fall to the ground.
Very tasteful.
It's a well shot scene. A lot of this stuff is very, very impressive.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes to the door, and
it's the help.
The help is like,
goes,
"Hey, you dressed like Santa this year. Good idea."
Yeah,
and that's when he's like, "Yeah, shh." He kills those people.
Yeah, those people are dead. We called that shit.
Yeah, almost right away.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we called that. Yeah, we're so glad.
We would call out things, and then it would come to pass.
It would be like, wouldn't it be amazing if, and then it happened. It was like the movie heard us and was like, this is what you want. It's like this movie's different for everybody who watches it.
Oh shit!
You know what
it's
I
like
mean?
an SCP.
Dude, wouldn't it be great? Oh man.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he breaks into the house, and the little boy has been concocting a plan to catch Santa on camera.
He wants to see Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And actually the mom has this great bit of lore.
Yeah.
First, she has great bits, plural, of lore, because when they're at the breakfast table previously in the film, the little kid is like, "Hey, my friend says Santa isn't real," and his grandpa's like, "What the fuck does that kid know? He's a little shit. He's a little asshole, dude. Who cares what he says?"
Yeah.
And his mom goes, "Well, of course." That's why his parents have to buy him presents.
Yeah,
because he doesn't believe in Santa.
Yeah,
bad. He sucks. So his parents have to buy him presents because Santa won't bring him anything. I was like, yo, I might steal that for my own Santa
100%.
lore. But let's see. Yeah, the kid starts really laying down the infrastructure for his Santa filming expedition.
He's got cameras set up that are wired to his little Pit Boy.
That are wired to his Pit Boy, that also have 3D constructed models of the entire house.
Yeah.
Which is a stately mansion.
Yeah, it looks like Gotham City.
Yeah, it's fucking Cobblepot Manor up in that bitch.
Uh-huh.
But, so he's doing that, doing his thing, talking to his dog, being like, yo, what's up? What is it? JR?
JR, yeah.
I almost said RJ.
That's a beautiful moment when he's like, you stay here, JR. That way, if I get caught, you still get presents this year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is that the next thing?
That's like that night. Yeah.
I can't think of anything-
He's prepped up. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Yeah, because it cuts to him being in the tent, and he's like, "Yeah, okay, JR, which is his dog, gotta stay here, so that way you still get your presents if I
Yeah.
get caught." And so he goes.
Sweet boy. He's
such
such
a
a boy.
sweet little boy who is like, thank God he turned out this way and wasn't just some rich kid asshole
Yeah,
who
yeah.
I had to like force myself to root for.
He's like using his wealth for almost. He's like preparing to be Batman, but he hasn't lost his.
Yeah,
parents.
he's got like fucking commando gear,
Yeah.
and he's like got the drive for what will turn out to be his ninja training.
Yeah.
So, like, he's got the hair.
He's got sweet mullet.
got
Yeah,
the
it's
hair.
this movie's ridiculous.
They have to cut out the back of the like Batgirl, how she cuts out the back of her mask so her
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
can fly. It would be the same thing.
It would be a sick.
It would just be
mullet.
the sick ass mullet. It's like he's like little kid Joe Dirt.
Yeah, 100%.
But anyway, so he goes and he hides underneath this banquet table that
Yeah,
faces
yeah.
the fireplace, right? And he's underneath there. He's waiting for Santa, right? Finally, oh my God, boots hit the ground.
Yeah, rope followed by boots in the
Right.
chimney.
There's a light, like a
It's
heavenly
heavenly,
light.
yeah.
And the dog, noticing an intruder, comes in and starts
Yeah.
to
The
fuck
dog
up-
knows something's up. You
Yeah,
know?
and starts to attack what this kid believes is Santa Claus, what Tomas believes is Santa Claus. And there's some kicks going on. The guy's like, "Oh, what's fucking going on?"
Yeah.
And then the movie takes a fucking
Yeah,
turn.
we were watching it thinking this was just a quirky, like this wasn't gonna be that crazy
Yeah, just a fun movie.
until Santa gets that pie cutter.
Santa gets a pie serving knife
Yeah,
and stabs JR in the fucking neck.
full view,
Yeah,
close up,
this kid
bam,
looks on in utter horror
utter shock, horror, and sadness
as his best friend is killed in front of his face
by Santa.
by Santa Claus.
And he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of
We
here.
need it, yeah.
Uh,
Which even me and Matt, when we were watching, we're like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, we
What
out
the
loud were
fuck?
like, whoa!
Yeah.
So much so that my son came to the door and was like, what happened, Daddy?
Yeah, it's oh my God, was not expecting it.
Yeah, the
ramped
movie,
up so quick.
The movie takes a turn, and then but the kid's immediate thought is, I need to go get Pappy.
Yeah.
I gotta get my granddad out of
Gotta
here.
go get. Well, this is what kicks off the dog getting murdered.
Yeah.
This poor sweet little boy, this sweet dog
Yeah.
getting killed is what kicks off a deadly game of cat and mouse
100%.
inside this, you know,
This beautiful
this
mansion.
estate. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes and gets. He's like, yeah, gotta go get Pappy. So he goes to Pappy's bedroom. Pappy's sound asleep because he's a horribly old man.
Yeah.
Just decrepit. He's made of Ritz crackers and rice paper.
This was another thing where at first, when the little kid screams over the PA to wake up, we
Yeah.
thought he was shitty, but no, granddad's just little. He's old.
He needs this to
Yeah.
wake up because he,
He
he
won't get
might
up
not
otherwise.
ever again.
Yeah.
He might not ever wake up again.
Oh man.
So he goes and then wakes up his grandfather, leads him by the hand through a labyrinth of secret tunnels.
Yeah, the little boy has definitely he seems to have free reign of the service tunnels and the basement areas of his house.
But there's a bunch of clue secret passages too. Like
yeah, there's a point at one in the middle that doesn't really amount to anything, but there's just a labyrinth in his house with like an Art Deco piece on the floor.
yeah, they have like there is.
Like
I
you'll
forgot
never
about-
know that that's there unless you're looking from above, and it's not that kind of maze because it's in their house.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just kind of like an abstract art exhibit.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets his granddad down into, well, no, first they try to escape by car. And they set up early in the movie that the kid's fixing it because his mom loves this old piece of shit
Yeah.
car that she
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
And then, like he said, it breaks down, it don't work, and Santa's just, he's like bashing his head into the windshield
So-
and taking a sledgehammer to it.
it was at this point where it was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this guy is way crazier than...
He's going hard.
Yeah.
And they show very early what the granddad's sight actually is, like how blurry it is.
It is...
So when the granddad's like, "What's happening, Thomas? Like, what's going on?" You're
yeah,
like,
he
doesn't know
legitimately
what's
has
going
no
on.
idea. He sees a red blur and
Yeah.
hears crashing.
And his son, his grandson, crying.
Yeah.
That's another thing I'll say. I was expecting when we meet Thomas that he was gonna be like Kevin McAllister, confident,
Hyper-competent,
but
right.
he's so emotionally distressed the whole film.
He very...
He realistically
It's like a
feeling- yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I'm just going. He's just got
We
the,
have to run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got the benefit of equipment and he knows the house that
Yeah.
is like labyrinthian. But yeah, then they escape into the house and they hide in this secret chamber that
There's like an old school fridge that
Yeah.
the back of it opens up into a tunnel that leads into a because there's one with a wardrobe too.
those yeah, it's literally like this like room where there's the fridge on one end and then the wardrobe to his bedroom is the other end.
Right.
And you go through and there's like a cool old drawbridge that connects it and just
Right.
piles
where,
of toys.
Where Scorpion and Johnny
yeah,
Cage fought.
it
Yeah.
looks just like that place.
That bridge looks exactly the same.
But yeah, he gets Grandpa down into the basement because what the fuck is Grandpa gonna
What
do?
are we gonna do?
Yeah. And they get walkies, and the kid just is like, "We'll figure something out, I guess."
I guess, yeah. Fucking my dog is dead. This is a very hellish
well,
moment.
his first plans are to get to a phone, so he's sneaking around the house trying to
Yeah,
get the
well,
phone.
because Santa's destroying the phone.
He's destroying all the phones, and he's trying to get to the one in the attic, which is his mom's like.
His mom's off.
They say it's his. Well, I think I misunderstood because later they re-reference it, and he says, "Did you try your private one?" And
Yeah, the
she's
private
like-
line.
So I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't her office. She just has a hideaway phone that she can go up
Right.
and have.
And the attic was dark when they went up there, so it may not be as
Decrepit as we thought.
it looks, kind of with the lights off and
Uh-huh.
stuff. So that could be too.
But yeah, it what follows is this game of cat and mouse where he's avoiding this Santa who's trying to get him, and trying to get the phones.
That didn't work. All the
Yeah,
phones are fucked.
Doesn't work. It really ramps up once he finds where Santa or where the grandfather is. Like when he finds that place.
We were very, very concerned for Grandpa.
Yeah. Well, the worst is like Santa starts coming into the basement and he's just like, "Thomas, is that you?
Yeah.
Who is that?"
Oh, that's right.
And
'cause he
Thomas
goes
is
up-
on the walkie, just running through the house.
has to listen to it because his grandpa's holding down the walkie button and being like, "Thomas, is that you?
Is that you?"
Right. And so it's like, oh my god, he has to listen to his
Yeah.
grandfather get murdered.
And we were like, "JR just took it to the throat. Anything's on the fucking
yeah,
table
this
now."
this could go any number of ways. Nobody is safe.
Because his grandpa backs up against the wardrobe like, "I don't know what to do."
Yeah.
And just before getting knifed, Thomas yanks them through and they start running. But at that point, their hideaway is gone. So it's
Yeah.
like, what do we do?
Is that when Grandpa starts to have a diabetes attack?
No, that's a little bit later.
Is it? Okay.
Because this is one of our call-outs. They're trying to they're hiding down in the foyer and they're like, "What do we do? I don't know how to get a hold of anybody." And we yelled out loud. We're like, "Dude, hide in that armor,
Hide in
Grandpa."
the suit of
'Cause
armor,
There's
yeah.
armor everywhere.
Yeah,
There's
there's
full
like
plate
knight
everywhere.
armors, yeah.
And that's exactly what they fucking do.
Oh my god.
Grandpa just stands in this suit of armor, which I'm like, how the fuck did he get in that
That's
thing?
so sad. It takes a long time to put on
Yeah.
plate.
But yeah, so he's standing in there while Thomas is trying to find his next plan is like a fax machine, which he starts sending out faxes.
Oh,
to
that's right. That's
everybody.
right. That's right. Because at first we thought it was just his shitty friend.
Yeah.
It was like, that's who you fax?
But
What
like
the
his
fuck?
his like mom's chauffeur also gets one.
Yeah, I think he just sent out whoever he's got the number to,
Yeah.
which there are only 2 other characters in this movie, so
Seemingly,
they
yeah.
have to, yeah.
And meanwhile, his mom is like, nobody's answering the phone at the house. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, she's driving home. Well, because the chauffeur guy she's like up there doing numbers and these
Yeah.
giant binders and stuff, and he's like, "It's Christmas, go home.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Go to your kid. I'll just take care of this." And so take my car even.
Stepdad
'cause she-
material.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Get that guy in.
for real. Because he picked her up.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, just take my car and go home. It's fine.
Right.
I'll just stay here and do the numbers anyway. It's fine." And so she's on her way home for like the whole movie.
Yeah.
She's on her way home trying to call the house. She calls the chauffeur. She's trying to call the police, and just like she's got nothing else to do but use his car phone.
Yeah.
So she's just kind of stuck. But
Right.
she's like it's driving in the snow too, so she can't really haul ass.
And she she gets distracted and wrecks a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh man,
forgot
help's
about that.
not coming to this
Like,
kid.
oh my god, this sucks so bad.
But yeah, so you're watching as like pieces slowly build for help to come help him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, Grandpa's in the armor. He starts fighting back at this point, right?
He starts to at least mount a bit of a defense.
Yeah. This is when he starts
knows-
he does like the marbles, and then he like puts the tracker on him, so he
Yeah.
can track the dude through the house.
he knows that, like, okay, this getting help shit isn't
Right.
working, so we're gonna have to try something else. And this is all the while thinking he's the actual Santa Claus.
Yeah, he there's that part where he's like, I don't know what I did. I made him upset. He killed JR
Yeah.
because I fucked up. 'Cause-
Yeah, that's
he-
what makes this.
it's fucked
It,
up.
it brings this to another level when you're looking at it from that lens, because like he just watched Santa Claus kill his dog,
Right,
and he
right.
thinks it must be my fault.
Yeah,
It has to be.
I shouldn't have tried to see
Santa
him.
doesn't do this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got to be
He's
something
just
I did.
like, what's up? We did miss a great moment where before the grandpa gets in the night armor, Santa's looking for him, and he hears the grandpa telling the kid, "Just go on without me. I'm old. I'm too old."
Oh,
Just go
yeah,
on."
yeah.
And when he hears him, he's there in a sauna, and he walks to the sauna, and all of a sudden a rug rolls out, and the kid like commando walks him in,
Kid's just in the rug.
like they had the little
we,
walkies.
we had to go back. It was like, yo, look, there's the rolled up
It's
rug
so
sitting right
good.
there. And
yeah, when he straight kick rolls out of that and then flips up, slams that door, seals
and
it,
puts the pipe in the
cranks
handle.
the sauna as high as it can.
And just starts looking
There's
in
a
his face.
long moment of them just looking at each other,
And it's
so
like, it's
fucking
official. Okay, the game is on.
rad. The game's on. Man.
Let's fucking do this.
And then that's when he's like, "No, Grandpa, I'm not leaving you. You need
Yeah,
to
of
stay
course.
in the armor." But yeah, he starts mounting a fight against this Santa, and there's that great bit where he it's after the attic when the Santa gets up there with him. He jumps
Yeah.
out that window, and he's early in the movie. He's pretending to walk on a windowsill.
Yeah,
and
doing the what do you call that? A strafe,
yeah, he's like shuffling along.
hugging the wall kind of thing.
But this time he's doing it for real. But instead of like a normal movie would have him be like, "Oh no, I'm scared. I'm gonna brave through it because
Yeah.
this is the moment." He just breaks down and starts sobbing for a
starts
while.
crying and screaming.
Yeah, screaming. He's like the weight is hitting him, and he has a
It's
moment
like-
of safety.
Yeah, it's like snowing and like it's
It's a powerful moment.
it seems very powerful too, and that's when you really get to look at. Cause I think that's when the camera starts panning around that like
Yeah, you get
legit miniature. Of
you
this
get a
mansion.
really nice model of this house.
It's
yeah.
well done, dude. This
man.
movie knew where to
Splurge
spend
a bit,
it.
yeah. Yeah, so slowly people start coming to the house. His friend shows up, gets chased away.
Oh, that's like at the end. Though.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like one of his defense tactics is to make a real grenade.
Yeah, an actual explosive device like an
Yeah.
IED. He's
Well,
got. Well, let's.
Before we get there, his
Yeah.
prep, which involves that part where he's carrying JR's body.
Oh my
and he's
God.
weeping, and he buries him in the basement.
Dude.
There's that shot where he's grabbing
And
the
it's
dirt
like-
and he's squeezing the dirt.
He's squeezing the dirt and crying, and it's like intercut with their like happy times.
Yeah.
The dog and they're like having fun.
It's so good.
And then he's thinking about Santa Claus killing him, and then it's like cutting to him writing letters to Santa and
Yeah.
crumpling it up like.
And then when he fucking buries him, and he takes his rubber toy knife and his rubber katana and he
makes a
ties them
cross.
together.
And that's
Well,
the headstone for this dog. It's the fucking greatest
Oh,
thing
God.
I've ever seen. It's so emotional for this kid.
And they do a pretty fun montage of like him shooting little like fiery, like he sets Santa on fire, kind of
Yeah,
pelts him with stuff.
it's kind of like trying to just stay ahead of Santa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? While he builds a better defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he I guess he must have put some sort of fuel on the ground or something. He's got like a suction cup gun that he lights when on fire and makes like a ring of fire. Oh, okay, shit. Now we gotta run. There's the one, where he puts the tracker on him. He just starts firing marbles at his face with a slingshot, and one of them is like this.
He waits till Santa's like got his back to him.
He's
to
got a
shield him.
legit tracking device.
Yes, it's like a proximity tracker. Like
Yeah.
it just shows if Santa's getting close to him.
It's the fucking like the receiver. The screen of it looks like sonar or the fucking the motion tracker from Aliens.
right. Yeah.
You know.
Santa's inside the room.
Yeah. Oh, he's in the vent.
It's 3 meters. Like that's
It can't
insane.
be, man.
It's Santa's in the
You're reading it wrong.
I'm reading it right. He smokes his head in the chimney. And then there's xenomorph crawling down a Santa hat.
A xenomorph. Dude, you could put a xenomorph on a Santa hat. Just put
Big hat.
No, just don't take a regular Santa hat and just mush it over the like
that's
dip
what I'm
part of their head.
I want a big hat that goes all the way down.
Okay, that's fine. I like it better if it's a regular size one just on the tip. You know? Where were we at?
But yeah, they don't play out like full scenes though. Like you get like Santa walks in, he starts attacking him, you start seeing the results, and then it'll cut to a different thing.
It'll
like,
cut to him like he had gotten away. And,
yeah, it's him setting up something else, and it's that goes on for a little bit before people start showing up. Like his friend shows up, gets chased away, a cop shows up.
A cop shows up and Santa kills him?
Yeah, kills him for sure.
And is so now we were like, oh fuck, Santa's got a gun now.
Yeah. Well, this is when the movie ramps up because Tomas comes back and his grandpa's starting to have he's like, my diabetes is I need my insulin.
Yeah.
So part of the part of the climax turns into him trying to get an insulin needle.
While still
But Santa
contending
keeps
with,
chasing him away,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he ends up outside. He goes to the caretaker's house. He doesn't see their dead bodies, which are like behind a table.
No,
in
they're
the
like
dark.
piled underneath the table, yeah.
Which is interesting choice. Good choice. And then he ends up in this is maybe one of the best fucking moments in the movie when he ends up in the Christmas trees where the cop is dead.
Okay.
And Santa's better. This is better. I missed the whole thing. I'm ahead of myself.
I know, I can't, I'm trying to like run through the movie in my head. It's like there's so much awesome.
Once it goes, it goes.
It's really
But
not.
He sets up a train with a grenade, and he sends it at Santa.
He makes, okay, so he's equipped from the start of the movie with like toy grenades. And this one, he starts taking M80s apart, pouring the powder into this hollowed out toy grenade and putting like marbles and shit in it.
He makes a legit problem.
Yeah, that would be a serious issue.
But he does that. Which that leads to the first time the movie does it, where Santa picks it up, looks at it, and he's like really happy about the music he played.
When it's when
it comes at him.
when the train is approaching him, because he pretty much made a little fucking like drone bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he puts it on
Like
the
a
back of his
wind-up
train, and he scotch tapes a lighter to the front of it so that when it hits something, it strikes the lighter, lights the fuse, blows the grenade. It's a really ingenious little package. So he sends it at Santa, and Santa sees this thing coming up, and he's just like, the joy on his face is just like,
he's
oh,
not
look at this little
suspicious
thing.
at all.
Doesn't even think malice, and he's in like we said, he's in a fucking intense head-to-head with this kid.
I'll say too, the continuity of this film is fucking on point.
It's not bad.
The Santa suit gets worn down, it's burned up.
Everybody gets shittier as it
the
goes.
paint, he spray paints his hair and beard white. That shit's fading out.
It's
and
like
getting rubbed
starting to
out, come through. It's fucking solid.
It's
But
very
he
good.
picks up that train, and he at first he winds it up and he puts it back down to go back the way it came.
Yeah.
And at first,
And that kid is like,
shit. Well, at first we were like, oh, like does he know? And it's not until the kid realizes it's going towards Grandpa in the armor that he's like, I gotta make a break for it.
And then and when he makes a break for it to grab the train, that's when Santa is like, oh, there's that kid, and goes to get him.
Yeah, and then it's like shortly after that, he's got the insulin needle. He's trying to get back to Grandpa.
That thing never goes off.
Does not. Yeah, you mentioned you're like that's gonna be a thing.
That's when the fuse gets lit, when it bumps into the pedestal,
It lights.
that Grandpa that armor Grandpa is sitting in. It's like Armor King from Tekken. It's
Yeah.
Armor Grandpa. the thing strikes, but the thing doesn't.
It doesn't
The
work.
package doesn't go off. It fails.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a problem until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Or until that goes off, or this movie ends, that
Right.
thing is an issue because it's just fucking
It's
full
just
of
there.
powder and marbles,
Yeah.
and we don't know what the fuck's happening with it.
But yeah, before he gets the insulin, he gets caught. But this is a moment because he sees that Santa, the little beeper's coming towards him, and he turns and it's like a little toy tank drove up to him with it on it, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Yo, that means Santa was there.
Yeah.
Like, had to have been behind you this whole time. What the fuck?" And then he goes out, gets grabbed by Santa, but Santa doesn't like kill him. He goes,
I thought he stuck it in his
"Yeah,"
neck.
because the jerk emotion's real scary.
Yeah.
But he goes, "I got you. Now you gotta come find me. Count to 20.
Count
And he,
to 20.
Throws him into a corner.
Don't cheat.
Don't cheat. And he goes,
And that's when we're starting to put this together. Like, he's a little.
he's
like,
having a good time.
He's
right
like
now.
a child. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, he literally is playing a game.
Uh-huh.
It's just like super intense.
He doesn't
Because he's, like, a
understand how
grown
far
man.
it's going,
You
yeah.
remember when in your like mid-teens playing Manhunt,
Yeah.
when it's like it's hide and seek but way more intense because you're a more capable organism now. So the hunting gets crazier, the hiding
Right.
places get
Uh-huh.
more
Yeah.
insane, like you're gonna be hiding in places you wouldn't when you were a little kid.
Yeah.
It's just that ramped up to now he's a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, he's just going.
So he's
wild.
like,
and the
okay
kid
with
has
it.
fucking escalated it to combat.
Right.
So he's just playing.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's a weird moment. And then he goes hides. That's when the kid finds the insulin. He gets into the cop car that's nearby
oh
and
my
starts
God.
to drive away. And it's a legit, well executed fucking jump scare.
Yeah.
Because he goes, "Found me," or something like that, jumps out. I can't remember what he says.
I don't know either. I wasn't watching.
But the kid crashes.
I wasn't watching the fucking subtitles because I saw Santa pop up in the fucking rearview
and we
mirror.
were
I was
like, "Oh shit!" Kid crashes, gets
Dude,
out.
a jump scare
Yeah.
hasn't like really
Got you, yeah.
I don't well like I'll be like whoa for a second.
Yeah.
Like but not the full body jump,
Yeah, no.
but especially like a plot infested jump scare.
Oh, yeah.
Is so good when it's earned.
Well, because you care so much that when you see
Yeah.
Santa, all of a sudden you're like, "No!
Oh,
fuck!"
shit.
Yeah, it's a gut response, not
Yeah.
a reflex.
Dude,
But yeah, he crashes
crashes the car.
Santa's all dizzy. He like quick thinking handcuffs Santa and bails.
Yeah, to the oh shit handle.
And that's how we get to where we are, where he's in the snow trees. He's covered in mud. He's all beat up and bleeding now because he just got into a wreck.
Because he got into a car wreck. Santa's like the handcuffs slow him down, but like not too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The handcuffs slow him down, but he buys him maybe 20
Yeah,
seconds.
it doesn't do much. Santa catches him. Kids.
So they go-
Yeah,
they-
you called this too.
They race to the cop's body.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet, wouldn't it be great if Santa was too crazy to grab the gun?
Yeah, 'cause he's not thinking like
He's
that.
not trying to kill the kid.
Yeah.
They're playing a game, he thinks. So the gun is laying right there. I was like, fucking knew it. And the kid takes the gun
Yeah.
and is like pointing at Santa like, why are you making me do this?
Yeah,
He's
when
crying.
he's weeping and he just like goes, "Why?"
Yeah.
And there's that moment when Santa stops playing.
Yeah.
And he looks concerned and goes to step forward to like help the kid.
It's the look on the guy actually.
It's a seamless shift. You watch the gears crank over. Yeah.
Exactly right. Because he goes from like playing, having fun, crazy face to like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Are you
face?
okay?
Yeah.
Face. Like it kind of not necessarily realizing what he's been doing, but realizing what the kid is feeling now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, oh,
Yeah. And the fact
Man.
that because the kid cracks a shot off
Yeah.
into him, but the fact that it wasn't him lunging, the fact that it was a soft like
Approach.
step,
Yeah.
before getting shot is so fucking good.
and it's all face. The
It's
guy
all
who plays
face,
Santa
yeah.
is just, oh man.
He's
Damn.
fucking soft, and the kid is fucking going for it.
The kid he's a king among men, this
So
child.
yeah, the kid races back with the insulin. his grandpa's unresponsive. He does a great bit where he uses the broadsword to like snap buckles loose to get the armor out so he can get the shot in.
What do you call that? Curious or whatever?
Yeah, and he sticks the insulin in. He's trying to get his grandpa going, and Santa shows up.
He's like gorilla beating on his grandpa's chest.
Yeah,
like
he's like,
wailing like, "Don't die,
Don't
Grandpa!
die, Grandpa!"
Don't die,
it's
Grandpa!"
so sad.
I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, and me and Matt are sitting there watching this movie, like, please don't die, Grandpa!
Don't die,
Grandpa! No!
And then Santa comes in, and he's like covered in mud, and he just looks ghoulish.
It's fucking awesome.
And you were like, "Yo, his mom said he was gonna turn into an ogre," and they start flashing it. There's a lot of good sound, like using like old dialogue. The kid for a little bit,
which honestly doesn't work a lot.
Sure,
but this was fine.
There's some fun with the kid on the PA too, being like, "You don't know this house like I do.
Yeah, right.
You'll never do."
That was like, it's the fucking "I'm your worst nightmare" scene from First Blood. Oh, there was the kid kind of looks like Rambo's girlfriend from First Blood Part 2 also. But
yeah, so Santa confronts the kid, he doesn't have the gun, and you were like, "Yo, wouldn't it be great if Grandpa..."
if Santa gets the drop on the kid, and you just hear a shot crack off, and it's Grandpa with a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it fucking kind of happens. It's better.
Enough.
It's better though.
It's way better.
Because like Santa's going for the kid and Grandpa gets the gun, but they show you again that it's so blurry he can barely see the shape of the gun.
It's Grandpa's POV. It's like, oh my god, that's right, he's blind.
And so he's just aiming at this red blur, and there's that part. He's like, "Tomas, get down! Get down!" And he cracks his shot. And people, I think his mom and the chauffeur come in. They come in.
Yeah, okay.
Because they see that Grandpa's sitting there with a gun and Santa dead.
Right. And he's just staring off into space.
And she's trying to comfort him, and every time she pulls him, he's like rubber banding, like he's just glaring at Santa's corpse.
Where they're like playing the audio from earlier at breakfast.
Yeah,
where
how do you know Santa, bones?
They never found his skeleton because he's
proof.
not dead. And
he's not dead. I'll be the one to get proof. And that really hit me too. Her trying to pull his face away and him just like super gluing to Santa's body. It's so good.
Throughout the entire movie, even up till the very end, they never explained to him this was a crazy guy.
No, he thinks it's Santa.
He lives now or especially at this ending scene where everybody's just covered in blood and mud and all types of shit. Their clothes are tattered, and he thinks he had to kill Santa. Yeah. He thinks he killed Santa Claus.
Yeah, he thinks that he fucked up and Santa tried to kill him.
All of this was his fault.
Yeah, everything was his fault. And now Santa's dead because he fucked up.
Right.
And he's got to carry that weight.
His dog is dead. Santa's dead. Grandpa's no worse for wear, or Grandpa is not.
The caretakers are dead. That cop died. His friend is MIA. He could be dead in a field.
Could be dead.
We don't know.
The car is wrecked.
And multiple cars have been wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it ends on this really weird shot of Santa showing that he was crawling towards his boots.
Or at least a pair of boots.
And we were like, that's a weird shot.
I don't know what it means.
I think if it means anything, it's one more reinforcement of like, he wasn't going necessarily after the kid. He might have just been getting his shoes. Maybe. But that's me saying like, it's the only thing I can think.
Here's the deal. The boots on the fireplace mantle were black boots. He wore red boots the whole movie.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that shot.
I'm very confused.
It might have just been an unfortunate thing where there was something there that he was falling towards, and we're like, what's the significance of the boots?
But it's like they're center framed. It's like
it's
they
very
want
strange.
You to notice the boots. It's the only thing in the shot.
I would love to ask the guy who made this movie.
I would love to. I got lots of questions for the guy in this movie.
What's going on?
I got a lot of questions.
Oh fuck.
Mostly, actually, it's not a lot of questions. It's mostly praise. Like, good lord.
Yeah, you can tell we love this movie.
It was so much fun.
This may have been, I don't know if it was the best movie we watched so far. It's maybe the most fun we had on a watch so far.
It was that and the Bigfoot one.
Yeah. But the man who, we were saying like the man who killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot, that movie's so heavy.
It was more, the emotions were heavier. This one was there because you're seeing it through the eyes of this little kid, but you're not.
This one's
it doesn't have the
clearly-
same
yeah.
gravity as like World War II and
Yeah.
Lost Love.
Yeah, that one was
and-
more contemplative. This one was
Yes.
like a roller coaster of like cool, crazy shit.
Yeah, I was like,
And-
oh my god, yeah,
yeah, with the weight. So yeah, like, I think it's the most fun we've had though.
absolutely.
For sure.
Probably yeah.
It was fucking so good.
Man.
It blew every other movie we watched out of the fucking water for
It's-
sure.
It was on another fucking level, man. This movie. It was called what? It was called Dial Code Santa Claus.
Yeah, amongst other
Oh yeah.
things.
Oh yeah. That's right. It's called 19 different things. Whatever. I wonder what else this guy's done. You think?
I don't know. I would definitely want to look it up for sure.
Watch it be like if this is his magnum opus and everything else is shit. I'd be so fucking.
That would be yeah. It would be
I'd
sad
be-
if he did one movie and it was like
If
not
he
well
did,
received.
if he
and then-
did one movie and this is it,
and he died in poverty.
oh my god,
Oh,
that would
man.
be great. Fucking man, I feel like we can talk about it and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. I still feel like we're missing something. Like there was just so much going on
Right.
that there's got to be. And the look of Santa Claus was good. It's got that old like
Yeah, it's got that
European
like European,
Santa-
yeah,
yeah.
with the cow,
an
the
actual
shawl.
cowl.
Yeah, it's got like a cowl and the
With the
mantle,
shoulder pads.
the mantelpiece.
Mantle
yeah,
is probably a better way.
and the hood. It looked rad.
No like Deedle Bopper Santa hat.
No.
It was like just a hood.
Yeah, and,
Very
and,
old school.
Man, this guy's look went from being like creepy to perfect because
Yeah.
he nails it. And this guy, like honestly, this guy fucking rocked the whole movie.
He
with,
really
with
did.
No dialogue, really.
Yeah, not too much.
Yeah, just his like look, and yeah,
Let's
like
say I don't know, maybe 5 lines or so.
yeah, that seriously, that moment in the snow where he like the game falls away and you really like, oh, this is a little windy, sorry. Where he's like innocent in a way,
Yeah.
really recontextualizes everything else.
Well, you really start. I enjoy thoroughly the way the movie gradually builds you into. He's got the mind of a child. He doesn't know what he's doing really.
Yeah.
You know, because at first, like I said earlier, he just seems like a creeper at 1st
Mm-hmm.
Who's like a little too, glad to be around these kids.
Right.
But then after you get more and more time with him,
Sure.
it's like, oh, he's just a tragic guy who lost his life because he doesn't know when a game isn't a game anymore.
Right. It's rough. It sucks. But it's like there's pathos in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's super
awesome.
good. And the kids, everyone brings it. This movie just rules. This movie
Yeah,
just fucking
this movie
rules.
fucking rules. There's nobody drops the ball, I don't think.
Like I said up top, Krampus is the Jaws of evil Santas. I might still hold to that, but holy shit, does it have a contender.
Krampus isn't an evil Santa, though. It's like a whole nother monster, right?
Well, it depends. That's one of them. It's one of them cultural decisions. Sometimes Krampus is like a twin spirit. Sometimes it's like
right.
a manifestation.
The one I watched, he was like the same guy.
sure.
I'm just not sure that I would be like, oh, well, this Krampus movie is an evil Santa movie because Krampus isn't Santa.
I mean, that's a tit for tat kind of.
It's probably semantics. Santa isn't a goat demon.
I mean, he might be. The Santa Claus is a horror film.
That's true. It's a goddamn werewolf movie.
Well,
It's funny when you brought that up. I was like, yeah,
it
pretty
100%
much.
is. They
Does
pull-
it count? We should have talked about it, maybe. Maybe that's the Jaws.
the Santa Claus?
Dude, you know Santa Jaws is a thing, right? It's got to be a thing,
It has to be a thing.
right? It's like Santa Claus, but like CLAWS.
It.
Santa Claus.
I'd be very upset if it hasn't.
It's.
But we
I'm
need to jump on it. If
telling you right now. It's got to Google it right now.
Santa
What are you doing?
Jaws.
Yeah, Santa Jaws. It's going to be a shark with a Santa hat on it. What do you bet?
I mean, we went through that period where there was just nothing but shark movies.
Dude, Santa Claus NATO, Santa Jaws NATO.
Dude,
I mean,
oh my fucking god.
it's true, isn't it? It's just a shark with a fucking Santa hat on it.
Trying to survive. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Santa Jaws 2018.
2018. God damn it.
It's got 3 out of 10 stars.
3 out of 10. That's a 30%.
The cover is literally a shark with a Santa
I
hat.
told you. I fucking told you, man. Damn.
Oh man. Well, I don't think we have anything else to talk about as far as Killer Santas.
I mean, there's really not much to be talked about.
Yeah, sadly, it's either the real world where it's just a sad story,
Yeah.
or it's a movie where it's
Also a sad story.
it's yeah.
There's okay. Look, I don't remember if we brought this up already, but pretty much everything we talk about has a million pounds of shit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this one particularly has a lot of garbage. It's
100%.
mostly garbage.
Well, holiday themed horror.
You know what we
whole
have
problem.
because I say almost every time that we do this, I'm like, it's mostly garbage.
It's mostly trash.
All of it's trash.
Oh man. So that's all we have for Killer Santas. Please seek out all the films we discussed.
Yeah, give us your recommendations if we missed one.
Yeah, if we missed one.
Probably did. We only do
There's so
5.
many of 'em,
We only
yeah.
do 5 per.
There are, plenty. Yeah, there's too many that we hit everything.
Oh, for sure. I'm not gonna watch all this garbage. You out of your fucking mind? Mm-hmm. Screw you.
So if you enjoy us, please seek us out on the usual channels.
Yeah.
YouTube, mostly Libsyn itself. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at The Scariest Hour. Still working on the Spotify situation.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with
We'll
that.
get there eventually.
I don't. Especially, I don't know what's going on with it. 'Cause
Yeah,
who
I
the
really
fuck
don't
knows?
know because Spotify is they won't tell you if it has been approved or not, and they won't tell you why it may have been disapproved. You just won't see your show pop
They
up.
don't know what the fuck they're doing, man.
It sucks.
They did the Amazon thing where they're just like, yep, we're the only thing now, so
Yep.
deal
You
with
gotta
it.
deal with us.
Shuffle up and deal, you piece of shit.
Fuck. So, our next topic, the first
Oh.
topic of the new year of January, we will be covering aliens.
Oh,
I would like to
shit.
cover aliens very, very specifically because I know this is a broad category. We will not be discussing ancient aliens. We will not be discussing, outer terrestrial aliens. No, nothing like that. I really specifically want to cover the Americana of, like, the relationship of a U.S. citizen with alien culture.
Okay.
You know, greys, abductions,
Right.
all the crazy shit the guy that Buzz Aldrin has been saying over the past little
dude.
bit of years.
He's just. You're just not ready for the fucking truth,
We
man.
can we
That's
can
your
we
problem.
can dive into reptilians. Yeah, I want to go specifically through because it's such a big topic.
These true stories are gonna be great.
They're gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Movies, maybe not so much.
Well, because like you're saying, like, well, already because it's like the Jaws, but you're like no alien
Yeah, no,
because
that's
it's like on a spaceship.
that's like a far future.
Right.
I would say honestly up front, the Jaws of this might be like Fire in the Sky, probably.
Okay.
Because that's a very American abduction
Right.
story. It's very classic. I do not have a movie picked out.
Oh man.
I have a couple. I will announce it later, soon.
Yeah. Hold your breath. Well, don't hold your breath because you probably, I don't know. Honestly, you can hold your breath if you want. You'll just pass out.
Yeah.
You'll wake up later, probably with a headache. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Sadly, I didn't. I was looking at them and I hadn't quite decided, and I was like, yeah, life kind of got in my way. But I
That'll
will
happen.
announce what we're watching. But know that I will recommend Fire in the Sky in the meantime, because like I said, it's probably the best of the alien abduction movies.
I remember being very, very dope, but I've never seen. I can't remember if I've ever seen it all the way through.
Right.
But I obviously know about it, and what I have seen of it was so long ago it might have been the whole movie. Fuck if I know.
Shit. Maybe we'll watch Fire in the Sky.
Oh shit!
But that'll
Breaking
be
the
us.
rules already, dude. We don't give a fuck. Rebels, dog.
Oh, that's not necessarily true. We watched
I know.
Cannibal Holocaust, which is probably the best cannibal movie.
Yeah, it's definitely that's the Jaws of its genre.
That's been us. You know where to add us.
That's right. Add it up.
Please,
Add it up.
please do your homework. Get into the alien mood for us when we come.